Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number 319, baby.
319, let's go. Yoink. Ah, fuck. Damn it.
You ever, I did something this morning that I had not done in a long time. And I licked the envelope.
Excuse me?
To close the envelope.
Jesus.
You know what I'm talking about?
How about don't lick
and
things?
And you get that glue. And dude, I can't get the taste out of my, it's like the worst thing going. I feel like, so if I get sick during the show today, just a heads up, that's probably why.
Man, like Ontario's getting literally like 3 feet of snow in 24 hours. People are stuck on the highways out east. Oh, North Carolina, they're still living in tents because they're getting no help whatsoever. But Andy licked a goddamn envelope. That's how we start the show. Well, he licked an envelope, and now he's like, that's what we're talking about?
It's awful.
Don't lick things because you never know. You might have some cat in the middle of Montana.
Dude, anthrax.
That's
remember when that was a
thing?
Remember
baby.
Anthrax? You don't remember that, do you?
Yeah, I remember Anthrax. Damn right. And I remember old boy up in the middle of the woods up there setting up them pipe bombs, mail bombs. What's his name? Kaczynski?
Yeah.
You know, they found him. Some Harvard genius.
Found him?
They found him.
The Harvard genius found him?
No.
Or he was the Harvard
genius.
He
was a smart guy. He used to have a place in the middle of nowhere. Either it was Montana or Wyoming, whatever it was. And he had all this, he just built this little house and it was all filled with tools and stuff. And he'd go sneak to these, kind of graveyards and stay, and they'd have all these cars and stuff. And he'd go just take all the wiring, go sit in his little shed, make all these badass fucking bombs that he's sending out and killing people. Because Ted Kaczynski, check that mug out.
He's a very smart man. One of the smartest we've ever seen.
He's a psycho. Hey, the AAA Blues kids are doing that too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that.
I saw it.
Where'd you see it? Were you scouting? Were you watching games?
Yeah, I was watching the games with Jimmy Campbell.
Oh, I was there for that. I didn't see that.
Well, I did. You left. I was there, and I saw the kids, and then
I came back, and you were gone, and I still didn't see it.
I saw everybody who posted it too. It was pretty funny.
Really?
But they'll probably delete that from whatever YouTube or whatnot.
You think that's too political?
It kind. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
It may bother somebody.
Maybe bother somebody. It's all good. It's all gonna work. Don't get too. If you did a Joe Biden dance, which would be like, I don't know what the fuck that'd be, falling down or whatnot. I'd be like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Like whatever.
Is there a Joe Biden dance that you know?
No, there's not. I don't think he can. Hunter can though.
He can party.
I will party with that son-bitch.
And Hunter is partying right now.
He's partying right now, and that's all. It doesn't. That people are making a big deal out of that
it's his
too.
Son, dude.
Yeah, but you lied forever.
I know.
You tried to get Trump with all this stuff. You did all that. I mean, no one's above the law.
The justice system.
No one's above the law. Well, besides my son, who's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, but was Biden saying he's getting charged with things that the average American would not be.
Your fucking with. Hunter's laptop, Russian collusion.
Taxes,
it's funny,
right?
So much taxes, hanging out with young girls, snorting fucking drugs with an illegal gun, doing this, he's crazy. Not to mention he had such a high-scale job in Ukraine. Interesting how
what
that worked.
What was he looking at?
I think he was in charge of oil in Ukraine, making a lot of money. Funny how that works. And now I don't know. It's all good. But that doesn't bother me. Like, if I'm Joe Biden, I'm going to do the same fucking thing. So it is what it is.
For your son? Wouldn't you partner?
Well, you are a hypocrite of all hypocrite. Like, you are.
Okay.
You're a liar.
See, Cam's like, listen, I've been telling all y'all.
And Trump lies, too.
I've been telling all y'all in Saskatchewan and Alberta, PEI, dude, across, coast to coast, man. I've been telling you this for years, man. You can't ever believe the politicians. They all lie.
You tell them.
And now Cam's starting to understand that. He's like, oh, he lied to us. Dude, they always lie. You think Trump doesn't lie?
He does, too.
They all lie.
They do.
Every politician lies. There are two segments of people in this country right now that people just can't trust, and one is politicians.
Oh, really, Andy?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
The other is the media.
Tell me more.
The other's the media.
What else is going on? Yeah, they're all coexist. Anyway, by the way, all you Canadians are going to be up there. I'm heading to fucking Winnipeg right now, baby. Then I'm going to Calgary. Then I'm going to Edmonton. And then we're staying in Edmonton because goddamn Taylor Swift is in Vancouver. So we have to stay an extra day in Edmonton. No big deal. All good. But then until Taylor Swift leaves and all the hotels get reopened up again because everything's booked out in Vancouver because of Taylor Swift. So she can go fuck herself. You know?
Really?
Yeah, well, I kind of like to be in Vancouver. No offense, Edmonton, but Vancouver is just more to do. Where you're at in Vancouver, like you can walk around, there's things to do. I don't know. Edmonton's a little too chilly right now.
I've been studying her dance moves recently too. She's not very talented. I hate to say it.
I saw the clip that you saw.
She's very.
I saw the clip.
She's kind of awkward when you see her walking to the stadium and stuff like that. How tall is she? Do you know?
I think she's pretty tall.
She's got to be 6'2", 6'3".
You could chirp her all you want. For the climate change stuff, where she's got 15 jets flying around. Look at her map of the jet. Like,
but you're saying the dancing you can't chirp her
I would
for?
say, Andy, she's pretty goddamn talented.
Well,
okay. Like, you want to chirp
at singing?
I mean, just at everything.
She's a hell of a singer. She's a great entertainer.
She's a great entertainer, dude. She's jumping around, doing stuff, doing this, doing that. Like, you got to give that.
I'm
to
like
her.
a politician, dude. I can say one thing and then say the next.
She doesn't like that you're driving that Audi. That it's a gas guzzler. You know what I mean?
She flies around everywhere.
I mean, it's just hypocritical.
You don't think she has cars?
Of course she does. You should see how many cars that she's going to take on the 401 or whatever it is in not the 401, but in Vancouver. She'll probably have 15 different cars
a
going
motorcade?
On, just like Justin Trudeau did when he went down to Mar-a-Lago.
Why did he have so many cars down there?
I don't know. I don't know why that many. Well, I don't know. Maybe because
what kind of protection
people are trying to kill Trump. They might try to kill him.
What kind of protection does he get?
A shit ton. Justin Trudeau? Protection?
Like,
tons?
Is their Secret Service as organized as the United States?
Yeah, they'll have some badass dudes up there. For sure. Would you see our Secret Service when Trump got shot at?
They were not
Melissa
very...
McCarthy. What do I do? Bang, bang, bang. Come on.
They were not very organized that day.
It's all good. I don't know if they. We don't mean to get too political off the bat. We love all you guys.
Cam's getting very political.
You started it.
You're getting very political today.
And Andy had to go on the diatribe. Just remember, politicians lie. Yeah, we know, Andy. Welcome.
Cam's been like throwing me off base today. I had business stuff to do. It's the beginning of the month. It's a Monday. He's calling me every 2 seconds, changing things left and right.
We were having Marty on, Marty Brodeur, and
his plane.
He had his plane got delayed, and I should have known that. Why aren't you flying private, Marty? Just so you know, okay? No, that just shows you like he made good money. He's not flying private. He would like to, but he's not. But
let me
private.
Call a timeout here. So because he works for the New Jersey Devils. He's their president, right? Yeah. So maybe the Devils should be providing a plane for him to get back and forth.
Oh, Andy.
So I'm not. It's not for him to spend his own money. If he's going back to Jersey to work, come on, New Jersey, you got to hook him up with his own plane.
He might be missing important meetings too.
Air Marty.
How dare they? Interesting. Mm-hmm. You need him back there.
Making this guy fly
with the peasants.
Southwest.
How dare you? Southwest.
Marty doesn't give a shit though.
He don't care, man. He's cool. So we're gonna get on next week or whatever. But everything's kind of fucked up because of the travel situation. Mm-hmm. Like the Blues go on these 10-day road trips, man. There's like 2 of them in December.
There's not that many. I mean, this is not that normal.
It's not normal. We're not Seattle. This is really odd. Like all the guys are like shit. Chris Kerber told me that Ken Hitchcock said it's better for the guys to be on the road during December to get away from their families, just get away from. Oh. And I completely 1,000% disagree with him. Mm. You think these guys are getting really that fuck? I mean, some guys have 4 kids, 5. They got help, dude. It ain't that hard to be at home.
Who's got 5 kids?
I don't know.
Who's got 4 kids?
Not many. Maybe. No. I'm making my point is like, there you go.
I think, who has 4 kids on the team?
Maybe a couple guys.
No, Ryan Suter.
Yeah.
And they live in Minnesota.
Got 15, exactly. So like, they want to be gone that long during December is, in my opinion, is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like we do another goddamn road trip we're in like Detroit for 2 days and we're down there. We do this like another 7-day in December.
Yeah, but then they're
really
home
bad.
Like all of February, March and whatever.
But for him to say that
a
Ken
lot
Hitchcock,
of January too.
Ken Hitchcock wanted to the guys. I think it's good for him. I'm like, no, it's not. You want to be around during the Christmas. It puts you in a better mood when you're around your family. Mm-hmm. Maybe in February when you're like, okay, like let's just fucking go on road trips or whatever. But during Christmas, I'm like, nah. You're happy when you're at home, when you see your beautiful decorations up and stuff like that. The kids are all excited. No, that puts you in a fucking good mood. Be having home games.
And it makes
December.
You want to play. The energy's in the crowd. The holiday crowd always brings a lot of energy.
Exactly. Kids are there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I disagree with that. Mm-hmm. All good. No big deal. Lou would probably do some of that kind of stuff too. Just kind of just think where your mindset is as a player during different times. Mm-hmm. That's why we would be in different hotels.
I don't think Ken Hitchcock controls the schedule for the Blues, dude.
I know, but I would say
he's saying that maybe it's good to be out of town, but he's not like he has no power into
I know.
whether the team's here or on the road.
I know.
Yeah, but like you're saying, like Lou
would do some stuff.
Now maybe he could like get into the league office and like he's got some like some codes and
Hitch
stuff
is pretty powerful, dude.
I'm saying some like some coding to get into the scheduling server.
Dude, when you play for the Devils, your travel isn't bad at all. Mm-hmm. We would never have a 10-day trip. Not even close. Like you would have, if we were gone for 2 days, we're like, God damn. It's so much easier when you're playing on the East Coast, dude, as far as travel. Like it really, really affects you that much. You're fucking home all the time, Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool. So, anyway. You okay over there?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Like, where are you going with this? I'm just waiting for you to, like, you brought this up, so the scheduling, didn't know where.
It's got awful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're the Blues, the team that you cover every single day. They're going to be gone for 10 days, and they're gone for another 7 days in December. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And not to mention a couple of Dallas trips in between. So that directly affects a lot of stuff.
Those are one-day trips.
Yeah, and you still got you're home for a day, and you leave again, and you come back. It's like it's a tough month.
Yeah.
You all right? I rattled you this morning, didn't I? So now you know how I feel.
I'm just doing things, and he's just...
Fuck, you live 2 miles away. Calm down.
Cam was like, meet me here at this time. Then like a half hour before that time, he's like, I'm here, let's go.
Marty texted me, man. Everything got kiboshed. So like Andy's acting like he's the victim. Like he lives 2 miles away. When I have to come here, I'm going to be sitting in the parking lot for an hour and a half and waiting, which is fine. But you live 2 miles away. Like you could adjust things. It's pretty easy.
Are you enjoying the weather?
Not when you travel and drive.
Really?
Yeah. The roads are fine here. Man, people are getting beat up out east. Bad, dude. Did you see the fucking Buffalo game last night?
I didn't watch the entire game. I didn't see what was going on with the weather. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you didn't notice that it was snowing.
Like the Buffalo Bills game. Yeah. Yes, I did. I'm thinking the Sabres. Like, did they even play last night? I'm like, what? Oh, the Buffalo Bills. I saw that, dude. I grew up around that.
I know.
So it's funny because right there at the stadium, they got all that snow coming down, and just 12, 15 miles down the road, there's no snow.
Really?
Yeah, downtown Buffalo, no snow last night. It's lake effect.
Because it just went that string of.
They've got a couple different lakes. Yeah. Name them.
Erie.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
No, there's another one.
Huron.
No.
But anyway,
there's another one.
Don't care.
Ontario.
But
Lake Ontario.
But Andy's like, we would love to live in Buffalo. Fuck that. I'd love to play for Buffalo. Nah. If you get drafted by Buffalo, you're like, whew, I'm in one. No offense to Buffalo fans, we got them out there, but I'm just saying, like, even the fans there, I'm thinking, like, damn, you guys might have a clusterfuck leaving that building.
Oh.
You're leaving. How far away do you live? You're drinking. You're doing your stuff. Now you got to get in your car and wait all that traffic, and then who knows how the roads are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ay.
I don't mind driving in it. I mean, honestly, I really actually enjoy driving in the snow. Yesterday I drove down a curvy road through the woods and just videotaped the whole drive. It's just so nice and peaceful, dude.
Which is a smart thing to do when you're driving on snow, is to get your camera out and start videotaping. That's why I don't drive with him. Set himself up for that.
What do you mean?
He was tweeting and videotaping and driving and doing this and singing and dancing.
I mean,
like, get home.
Look
Were there kids in the car?
Look at this.
Were there kids in the car?
Oh, just one.
Roads are just one. Just one. He says, get out of here. Remember I talked about Andy driving and he can't help himself.
Look at this. It's just a beautiful, peaceful.
Yeah, our house looks really pretty right now.
Does it?
Yeah. It looks awesome out there, But no, do I like driving in the snow? Hell nah, homie. No way. It's scary as shit. Going down fucking hills. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No way, dude.
Did you get all your Christmas shopping done? Or
nope.
Are you gonna like? You don't typically get Kate anything for Christmas.
I used to give my ex-girlfriends just like cash and shit. Now I got to be creative with Kate because she's very creative with me. Although I'm easy to deal with. Give me chew. Give me this. Give me that.
But you ask for chew for Christmas?
Just from her parents.
Oh, really?
Her parents give me candy.
I'm sure that's pretty normal. A lot of people out there ask their in-laws for chew. You get chew like in your stocking and stuff?
Fat ass rolls of chew. Oh, yeah. I'm like, ka-ching, to save me money.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Mm-hmm.
But she wants a camera.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's
okay.
People still use those?
No, like a nice one. So when she takes pictures and stuff,
I know.
it's so much
We
nicer.
have one.
Like a Canon or
I
something.
may sell it to you, actually.
How much?
I don't know, about 15 hundo.
She doesn't listen to this, so 15 hundo?
Yeah. Expensive camera.
You're trying to rip me off.
I got it. No, well.
You're trying to rip me off. Why would you do that?
I'm not ripping you off,
You don't even
dude.
use it. I'm not getting one from you. I got to do this on my own.
I'll send you some pictures of it. We do use it. I got it from my wife when we started having kids and like taking like real like photos. But now the iPhone, the technology is so good that it's basically a camera.
Nah, they're different. They're different.
That's not what I understand. I understand it's the same thing.
Then I guess I'm wasting my money. Well, then why aren't they going out of business? Maybe they are.
Oh my God.
She wants a nice camera.
Uh-huh.
So, and then I'm going to have some cute little things here and there. But no, I'm not. I procrastinate when it comes to that.
People spend a lot of money on Christmas time.
Yeah. I'm going to hook my nieces up pretty good. Like you spend a lot of money on Lori. Like what does she want? Jewelry? Kate doesn't want that.
No.
What she
I do buy her jewelry quite often.
She does not want it, which is nice.
I don't know, man. She's not really like, she doesn't tell me, you know, but I know what she wants. Like she'll take it, you know. I took my daughter out yesterday. I got into the Christmas spirit yesterday. We went to have coffee. Listen,
I saw that.
Sitting in a coffee shop while it's snowing out is just one of the more peaceful things that you can do. I enjoy doing that. It reminds me of my days living in the mountains when it's snowing and like you're hanging out in the coffee. So we did that, and then we went to Santa's workshop, which is like this marketplace where they just have a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
I bought like a big old snow globe that she wanted. You know, kind of had like redbirds in it and snowmen and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like honestly, that's like what we did with our Sunday yesterday.
Well, I would say that I do miss being in Europe. I'll give Nottingham a shout out.
Because it's very Christmassy?
Oh, Andy. It is the most beautiful little market square you could possibly imagine. With these little, everything looks, I mean, like you're back in the fucking 17, 18 hundos. Christmas back then with Scrooge and all that, whatever. And they said all these little markets are selling all these little alcohol drinks and everything's cool and snow's coming down. It's just really, really pretty.
Do you have a nativity scene in your front yard?
Nah, I don't.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm asking because I'm seeing a lot of them right now, and I'm just wondering.
No, we're not religious.
No, but that's okay. No,
that's all good.
No. Let me do the talking here, okay? I think if I got you one, like when you just put it in your front yard. People steal them all the time, by the way, which is a thing that's going on right now. They're stealing nativities. Not in my neighborhood. Well, not in my neighborhood either. I'm not seeing a lot of them in my neighborhood, actually.
Your neighbors might steal that mug and sell it on eBay.
Possibly.
Get some gas to cut your grass.
But we see them and we comment on the nativity scenes. There's some really big ones. There's some smaller ones. So
nothing wrong with it.
I think you should get one in your.
Yeah, I'm just not into it. I mean,
you're not into
love
what?
Jesus and Joseph and Mary. But like, I'm not going to put that mug in my front yard.
You may not have.
good.
You may not have a choice.
My neighbors do.
That's good.
So they're representing.
What do you?
They're representing.
How do you look at that family by them having the nativity scene?
They're lovely.
They
would, if something happened to Kate.
If you're trapped outside, you can go and knock on their door. They're going to let you in.
Let me in. Feed me.
When I was a kid, you always looked for the little card in the front window that said block home.
What?
That was the home that if you had a sign that said, I think it was block home, and it was yellow, it changed colors over the years, but if you were ever being chased
Is that a Jewish thing?
No. Oh my God.
Would you say black 'em?
No.
What does that mean?
Block home. I can't believe you just threw that out there like that.
Well, I thought you grew up in a Jewish neighborhood.
No, neighborhood? What do you mean? Like what
do you mean? What do I mean?
What's a Jewish neighborhood?
A neighborhood that has a lot of Jewish people that live in it. Kind of like the one that you probably live in now.
Not many.
Oh, around where you're at?
Right now? Maybe the surrounding areas, yeah.
You're in Creve Coeur, dude.
But my immediate neighborhood, we've got a lot of Hindu and stuff like that.
Hindu? Do they celebrate Christmas?
Okay, hold on. So
do they celebrate Christmas?
I don't know. Because they've got.
How dare you not know your neighbors?
Well,
you don't talk to
them. We don't talk to them.
Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck to live in a neighborhood like that? My neighbors are awesome.
No, I love it.
They would protect.
There are a handful of neighbors who I do talk to, and we see and we know the kids play with their
English?
kids. Oh yeah. Right. But there's a lot of other neighbors that we just don't. But they have lights going on all the time.
Cool.
There's different parties. There's things going on. They got parties every week.
So there's Christmas lights.
There's
in your
a
neighborhood?
weeknight every week where there's a party going on. There's cars up and down the road, and there's lights happening everywhere.
Dude, you pull on my subdivision, especially at night. It is so beautiful. The snows there are the freaking clubhouse looks like a castle with.
So I was gonna
everybody's
tell
got
you
lights.
to go.
Do
get
you
Kate,
have lights in your neighborhood?
I have them in my house.
No, but your neighbors.
Oh yeah, not all of them.
Kate will be the judge of that because she's
I will
driving by her
tell you
house
this.
today.
Well, she's got to come at nighttime, so she knows when the lights are on.
No. The lights
But
don't disappear
the
during the
thing
day.
is, there is a Hindu holiday,
Hen day?
and I don't know if it's Ramadan or what the holiday is.
Don't know.
But they keep lights up all the time, and the lights are constantly flowing. So it may look like it's representing the holiday season, but it's representing something else.
That lights are up down yonder too
Mm.
because they're lazy and they don't take them down when it's the off season.
The girl who cuts my hair, French Canadian, Jehovah's Witness.
Get right out of town.
They don't do Christmas or anything.
They do get annoying when they knock on your door.
Okay.
I'm
no,
just no.
it's all
good.
You don't have to say all
No.
that.
It's all good.
They are just they're great people. Dude.
I will give them water.
Why are you?
No,
why
because
are you attacking them?
Because
like
I'm
that?
in my underwear. I'm in my gosh dang underwear, and then I got 3 Jehovah Witnesses banging on my gosh dang door, and they're
Maddie,
sweating their ass off.
Help me out here.
It's all good. Everybody's dealt with this. They sweat their ass off, and they're in these wool suits.
Okay,
I'm like, I open the door like, and I'm like, dang, you guys okay?
So listen.
I go, you guys okay? Then I'll give them water.
Are they okay?
They're sweating. They're sweating. They're preaching the good word, but they're sweating. And I'm like,
sweating?
I sweating. And I'm like, God damn. I give them a towel. I fucking I go, come in.
So
come
listen,
on in.
I'm trying to talk to you about
Telling
this.
you.
They're Jehovah's Witness. They do not celebrate Christmas. No birthdays. No holidays, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's not fun.
But
What do they do?
But they're very religious, I believe.
About what?
Well, I've asked her a number of times, Cam. It's interesting that you bring that up. And I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Great people. Just don't know. I just know that
awesome, wonderful people.
They're sweating their ass
off.
off.
I don't notice them.
In the middle
She's
of
not
the
sweating
fucking...
when she's cutting the hair.
No. They're when they go door to door and give you the good word, they're sweating so bad. And I'm like, God dang. I go, get in here.
Yeah.
Get in the cool. At my old house,
is that what you call it? Get in the cool.
I'm in my underwear, with my buddies playing fucking video games, and they're literally banging on the door.
Get dressed when your buddies are over.
Don't care.
You're hanging out.
This is long. This is when I lived in the old house.
Oh.
And we'd be like, come on in. They'd be like, oh. Then they talk to us like, no, it's all good. Just take some water.
Okay.
And you're okay.
All right. Anyway, they go around the neighborhood. They have to do their service hours and stuff like that. I think at some point you may graduate out of that, where other people are doing a lot of that work. But I think sometimes I think that you just have to do it throughout your duration.
Something.
You just don't. Whatever happened to the traveling neighborhood Christmas carolers? I used to do that when I was a kid.
You would do something like that, which is cool.
It was
cool.
Why are you, dude? You're trying to chirp, and then
I'm
you
not
said
chirping.
then you said it was cool.
I said it's cool. You've done some cool things.
Yeah, so I did that.
Ice cream truck.
No, I drove an ice cream truck. She was like leaving me in the truck. I drove around I was sitting on a cooler for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Just sliding around. It's just like she turning left and I'm sliding to the other side of the truck.
Things are just spilling everywhere.
We're pulling into neighborhoods, very shady neighborhoods, and she's like leaving me for like 25 minutes at a time.
She was getting down with it.
I think so too.
She was getting fucking
track
geeked up.
Track marks.
God dang right.
She would go through the McDonald's drive-thru and she would order all these extra packets of like mayonnaise and stuff, and she would just squirt the mayonnaise in her mouth. It was gross, dude. It was a terrible.
Jesus, Andy.
Yeah, it was a.
What else did she do to you? She do anything weird?
To me?
I mean,
like personally?
I'm just asking. Like,
no. Traumatic experience though. She was my trainer. She trained me. And then I got my own truck, and I would just go park at my buddies' houses, and they'd hand out ice cream to everybody. They loved it.
They lost money. The company lost money.
People would party inside the truck all day long.
Oh, yeah.
It would be fun, man.
I get that.
You would actually love it. Like if if I was your buddy in high school, dude, and I drove an ice cream truck,
come over.
I'd be like, and you'd hop in the car with me for an hour and just let's go roll and sell some ice cream.
High school.
Well, when else are you gonna do it? You got to be 16 to drive.
I know. I'm just saying.
They were like, true story. First day I got hired, the company was called Frosty something. They're like, you need to go get your license to like drive a one of
your
these
CD
like
license
a
or
something different type of license. I'm like, okay. Then they just never asked for it.
No, they don't care.
They're like, okay, we did what we needed to do. We had to tell them we don't need it. We just got to tell them we need it.
Then you put them out of business because all your buddies ate all the bullshit.
No, they're still
all
in
the
business.
expensive. Those ice creams are nasty too in the United States. I remember
they're like frozen over.
They look like Mickey Mouse and like their little gumball for a
frozen
nose.
toes.
Frozen, like your teeth broke when you ate it.
Oh God!
And it costs $5.
I know. All right, so the block home, as I was saying, there's a sign in the door. So Cam, if you're ever being chased by somebody in a white minivan, if you feel uncomfortable, somebody's asking you to come. Like, hey, Cam, I've got candy. Come to the car. Let me give you some candy. You run to a house that has that little thing on it, and that's a safe house.
Oh, okay.
So like, you knock on the door, like, hey, I'm being chased. And they'll bring you inside. You know it's a safe place to be.
Are they armed?
Are they armed?
Are the people that are saving you, are they armed?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know.
If somebody wants to get you, they're going to get you if they have a weapon.
What I used to say, and I would raise my hand in class when they would say that, talk about this, and, it was like a press conference even back there, Cam. I'm like raising my hand. I'm like, okay, well, what if somebody like puts in a fake sign? Can't you just make your own sign?
And to attract kids and then keep them?
And they're like, that's enough.
Like that guy in Cleveland with those 3 girls.
Oh, my God, dude.
Dang it.
And they just came running out. I think the dog got it.
There were some nasty kidnappings, man. There's some nasty kidnappings. If you really go through it, man.
Nasty
Holy
kidnappings.
Shit. Nasty. Horrific. Like, you think that you have it bad. Some of these girls, these little girls that get kidnapped by these fucking hillbilly weirdos, and they torture them and impregnate them for years.
Okay, I don't know if that's all. I mean, like, we don't know about all that. Although the Cleveland guy did impregnate.
What are you talking?
And they had a baby.
Why do you?
They had a baby in there.
So you just made my point.
Mm-hmm.
That one girl, God,
David Koresh impregnated probably quite a few too.
Oh, that weirdo! Fuck! Come here. Hi, I'm with Jesus. Give me the husband's go in the other room, and I want the wives and daughters come with me. I'm gonna do you the burden, and I'm gonna have sex with them. Like, what the fuck is that? And you're like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Hey, do you mind if we come too?
No. This is God's choice. Like, what the fuck is that? That was so odd. He's like picking and choosing what wives he wants to bang out.
You have to understand that not everybody thinks the same and acts the same and looks the same, Cam. There's a diverse group of people in this world. Everyone has different things that they're into.
Christ. No doubt. They're into that? You're a psychopath.
All right, so the block home, I would see these, and, we got
to get on. Like, there's other things to talk about. Like,
I was just
already
saying.
know.
I was just saying.
Can we bring up something?
JT Miller?
No. Well, yeah. The fuck is that?
I will say this about JT Miller.
Seriously, though, what is that? Like, what are we doing here?
Okay, well, here's the deal. And sources say that because the 4 Nations rosters are coming out.
Yeah.
We're on the edge of our seat for the tournament. Although I'm more interested.
I'm gonna be watching every second.
I'll watch every second.
Every second of it, dude.
I know.
I mean, we need Russians in there and stuff, but don't get me wrong. But it's all good.
By not having the Russians in, you know who that canceled out?
Huh?
By not having the Russians in the tournament,
Czechia,
that canceled out Czechia.
Well, yeah, that sucks.
Because you couldn't have 5 teams.
That sucks. You know what I mean?
I will say, hey, one thing to pay attention to, and this will be a storyline, I firmly believe it, is because, it's an NHL-sanctioned event, but Finland and Sweden, everything's going through their federation, so their coaching staff is appointed through their federation, okay? Like, they're not using, like, NHL coaches, and these guys are going to get eaten alive, dude, by the NHL coaches. Playing NHL rules, NHL ice, NHL play. They don't even know all the players. You know what I'm saying? That they're going up against matchups, all of that. These coaches from Finland and Sweden, man, are going to have a hard time.
You throwing money down on that mug?
I'm just saying they're going to have a hard time. Now, they may end up winning the whole thing. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I just think they're going to get out-coached, and they're going to have a hard time.
Oh, it's a different game. It's a completely different game. Mm-hmm. The ice, everything, the mentality, the way they call penalties.
That's why when this guy came out and made these comments about Erik Karlsson, I thought it was stupid to say. It's a stupid comment. I wish Hank, the King, would have gone a little harder on that coach on TNT because he kind of.
What did Hank say?
He said it was like basically said it was a dumb comment. Oh, he kept calling it harsh or something.
It's just
just say like this guy's like a stupid thing to say. Yeah. It's not smart, man.
Who's he want in there for Karlsson?
I don't know. He's just saying whatever. There's a lot of pressure. Karlsson's under pressure, man. He's a great player though. Like Like, let him represent his country. He's been a great player for a long time. Won the Norris Trophy a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, let him represent his country and go out in style for the Four Nations tournament, okay?
Yeah, sure. Unless there's somebody that's just drastically better. You really want to win the damn thing, and he might be, dash 30. You never know. Does his leg okay? Like, is he beat up? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they playing well in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Not really.
Out of their element. I was talking to one person who said the coaching when USA or Canada takes on Finland or Sweden is going to be like the professor taking on the kindergartner, okay? When it comes out,
imagine they get smoked like 11.
Oh my God! I didn't know who he was. I didn't know Crosby and McDavid.
No idea who that was. I got my own thing going on in Sweden.
I didn't know that. We play differently over here.
Who is this McDavid guy?
That's not how we play.
That's not how we play. How dare you? The ice is too small. No shit.
What were you going to say?
They're hitting us.
What was your
much.
Topic that you had?
Oh, Biz.
Oh my God. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah. And
the pictures of the 6 guys, it looks like the Brady Bunch.
Bunch of fucking geeks. God, I just tell you this right now. Like, that's a green light to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And know that, yeah, you might get kicked in the head. You got to back yourself up. And I know the way he explained it, I could plan it out perfectly in my head what happened. Because sometimes it does happen. And I'm the kind of guy who'd be like, hey, whoa, especially if I know the owner and the GM. And these dipshits are chirping him. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And they look at you and they're all wasted, these nerd golfers. And I'm thinking, I'm going to fuck every one of them up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you back it up because you're okay. Now, these guys might sue Biz too. Like, you never know these days. Like, you stick up for an old woman in a subway and you hurt a guy because he's going to fucking hurt this old woman. You might go to jail for that. We've seen that time and time again. We just saw that Marine that just got actually out of jail.
How long had he been in jail?
Shit, for fucking years. I feel like
he's been in there that long.
It felt like
since the day we saw him walking in, he has not gotten out.
I don't think so, Andy. That long to figure that out with this dipshit guy that's threatening people on the subway.
Yeah, no shit.
So Biz really had to calculate that and be like, is this worth it? Is this worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And he did, and his instincts came out.
Yeah, but he's probably not thinking right off the bat that this is going to be a 6-on-1 brawl. He's going up there just to defend and kind of try to settle things down.
No. He's there by himself. You see
But there's a million people there. The restaurant was packed,
Oh, yeah, it's
right?
got a bunch of women. There's a bunch of women fucking eating there.
Can you believe nobody else?
That is unbelievable to me.
And nobody from the kitchen came out to help you out? The guy who was the manager or the female? I don't even know.
He said and so, like, I get that part. Like, you don't want a woman getting in there and getting crushed by some dipshit golfer. But these guys are shady, man. You see the clip of them beforehand at a golf course in the clubhouse, and they're literally pushing some girl.
Women, dude.
A girl, they're God.
And the rest of them are watching him do this.
That is such a green light to stick up for her. Like, no one else is around.
Why didn't they call the police?
I don't know.
Like, the people at the country club, they're getting pushed around. Female employees getting pushed around by these guys. And from what it sounds like, nobody called the police there because they didn't come and arrest him even prior to going to this restaurant, Houston's. So listen, I'm glad Biz is okay.
Yeah,
he came out looking really, really good in this whole situation, especially when this other video comes out, because we're waiting for the video to come out from Houston's, from the restaurant.
Yep,
somebody's got to put out this video. I'm curious to see how that whole thing went down, but these guys have zero credibility after what they just did at the.
They're shysters
at the golf, the country club, and then you start digging into these guys, and their family all has issues, and they're like Irish travelers or something. What is that?
So they'll convince you to pay for stuff, and then they'll never give you the product, and they'll leave for town to town and town and do that over and over again and go golf. That's what I read. Could be completely wrong. I don't know, but I will say this: we all act tough. And that's fine. And I look at these guys and I'd love to knock every single one of them out. But it's still 6-on-1. So for Biz to fucking have the balls to take these guys on, when you know somebody from behind, like you, if you came up, Andy, and we all know how he is, if he came up from behind and hit me with his left in my jaw when I wasn't looking, you could fuck me up.
What about with a beer bottle?
With a beer bottle. You're damn right.
Or a glass.
Or two of you guys, and then all of a sudden now I'm down, and somebody comes up and boots me in my fucking side of my head, what happened to Biz, you can get jammed up quick. You can be one of the toughest guys in the world, and 6-on-1 can still get you.
In the report, it sounds like he was able to escape, essentially.
You backed up. You back up. You keep everybody in front of you.
And then ran over to the CVS. I don't know if the police were called from there or whatever.
Is Scottsdale the biggest biggest pussy?
What is going on there?
Scottsdale, are you the biggest pussy town? And if I see this clip and there's a bunch of men standing around watching this happen, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Pussy Scottsdale. Like, are you kidding?
Could you imagine if that went down here at like?
Oh shit! In front of the Blues game or something with all these guys, they'd fuck these guys up so bad.
You know what? I've seen a situation like this happen. I'm not gonna say where, and I'm not gonna say who, but I saw a very well-known bar owner here in St. Louis getting verbally and I think around like maybe even physically assaulted by a drunk customer and a NHL alumni. There were a couple of them who were there, got up, and one of them, I think, physically handled the other guy. And that was the end of it, basically.
Like, you try that stuff. Like, I just can't wait to see the video to see if there's any grown men watching this happen, especially in the restaurant.
With their phones.
Oh, get them, bitch! Get them! Help us!
But how could no one put out any footage on their cell phone, dude?
Good question.
This is unheard of.
Good question.
That we don't ever... I mean, this is coming out from the country club, but this is unheard of that it's taken. Dude, when a football player gets in a fight on a cruise, TMZ's got that video the next day.
Shit, doesn't have to be on a cruise. A football player, anybody gets in a fight.
At a concert, at a bar, at a restaurant.
In that dark alleyway, somebody's filming it. And you don't have a film of this? No men stepped up to help him. I can't wait to see the video of that. I can't wait to see the guy like, I don't know what to do. I'm with my date. Jesus.
I have a tea time, guys. I'm hungry.
I got work to do, okay? My phone's going on. I got phone calls to make. Get out of here.
I'm hungry.
People are scared to get involved because they think they're going to get arrested. And again, Biz might get sued too. That's how this whole thing is kind of fucked up. You know? Hopefully that changes.
I don't think he'll get sued. I mean, I guess he could. But
if probably fucking knock a couple cats down.
Self-defense.
You never know, Andy. That's the bitch of it. You know?
Well, the video will tell us. Okay.
There's video of all kinds of stuff, and people have been in jail for 2 years trying to protect an old woman getting harassed on a goddamn subway. How do you not think that Biz might get jammed up with this? These guys are shysters, man. You could abuse the law.
Did you see one of them
take advantage of the
had
law.
his court hearing, and the judge is like, will you, if you're released, will you be here for the December blah, blah, blah hearing? He's like, if I can, I'll make it. And she's like, no. It's not like an option. Because if you can't make it, then you'll just like increase the bond or whatever.
You have a warrant out.
Or she said that.
You have a warrant out for arrest.
Yeah.
But sometimes that doesn't even matter. There's guys that do crime in St. Louis with warrants out for the arrest. Like, you can't fucking believe.
I think we touched on it last week, but the family of Colin Brown, man, we want to extend our deepest condolences. Colin Brown, 16-year-old junior, CBC High School. Here locally, hockey player, played for Afton as well, U16 Central States team. 16 years old, man. And he plays a hockey game. He's going home with his dad in the car and gets struck by a stray bullet. And I will say I got to give a shout out to this lady who was the first on the scene.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She was with a birthday party. And they had like a bus downtown because the dad of Colin Brown, obviously panicking, gets off the highway.
Military. Okay.
I think he was a police officer for a long time.
I thought he was military.
Yeah, okay. Well,
either way.
One or the other.
Either way.
I thought he was highway patrol or something. But pulls over, and he's obviously crying for help, and he's in a area of downtown St. Louis, and it doesn't matter which area of downtown St. Louis you're in. It's just not. There's usually not a lot of people around. This day and age.
No.
And it's not like there was a Cardinal game happening or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's yelling. There's a bus. A woman hears his cries, gets off the bus. She's like 19. I don't even know how old she is, Kim. She just graduated from like paramedic school just recently. And she starts going into action and applying pressure where pressure needed to be applied, but then gave him CPR for 10 minutes. Another guy walks by, and he gives this kid, Colin Brown, another 10 minutes of CPR just to give him a chance.
Keep him going, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Before he gets sent to the hospital. It took 16 minutes for the paramedics to get there.
That's a long time. Right there in downtown? Yeah.
For a shooting? 16 minutes. We got to investigate that That needs to be investigated. Why is it taking 16 minutes for an ambulance to get to the scene?
There's probably 15 other ambulances going around with shootings, Andy.
Well, yeah.
And their staff is low.
Yeah.
Because it's so dangerous. Yeah. No one wants to work down there. Like
so I talked to the CBC head coach the other day, Ryan Trentz. I thought it was great what they did to honor Colin.
Yeah, I saw that.
They started the game with 4 skaters on the ice. No player playing right D at the time when the game was started, much like what they did with Johnny Gaudreau, with no left winger to begin the game with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So they had four skaters on the ice, no right D. That was the position that Colin Brown played in. All the Blues players wore the T-shirt walking into the building that night. Yep. So
Schenner talked about it. Benner talked about it. Like they all brought it up because they all felt that.
Yeah. And the organization donated like the proceeds from their 50-50 raffle the other night during the game.
Blues are great about that stuff.
To the Brown family. The Brown family was actually at the game.
Oh, really?
The Blues invited them to the game. I'm pretty sure on that they did come to the game.
Because I saw they did 2 ceremonies before that game. They did Colin Brown and then Benner beating Mike Liu.
Yeah.
So we love you.
Yes.
We love the family. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. And everybody in this town, especially the hockey. I mean,
we're going to catch this guy.
They are guys, probably. Where's that video at? Who are they? Just curious.
I'm wondering.
Wait, I'm just curious. Mm-hmm. How'd this go down? Just curious. Let's see the video on that.
If somebody out there knows they were the target and knows who was shooting at them, like, whoa,
where they at?
You wish they'd come forward.
Where's that video? Let's see. Let's figure that one out.
So they'll figure this one out.
Hope so.
But you're right. Jordan Binnington did get honored prior to the game as well.
Sweet as hell. That was lovely.
He got very emotional after the game, Kim.
Should.
He was, first off, he was incredible during the game. It was one of the best games I've ever seen him play. It's a shame they didn't win.
No.
The Blues just looked out of sorts, obviously, in that overtime. Made one mistake, and boom.
Well, they were almost Robert Thomas comes down. Cole Parayko spins around, and then drops for Thomas. Thomas has speed and goes around Travis Konechny, who had an unbelievable game.
He's incredible.
He is so freaking
good. You
good.
better put him on Hockey Canada. I know those rosters are coming out.
Watch him play. Travis Konechny was getting beat by Robert Thomas in a standstill. Finds a way to dive, takes a stick, wraps it around, and throws it up the ice. And Michkov turns around and goes, breakaway, backhand, fucking quick as hell, jammed it in there.
And Binnington thought that he tracked. He was so upset that he didn't make that save because he thought he tracked
all night.
Michkov, and he was in position to make the save, which he was. But for Michkov, that in tight, just to be able to elevate it just enough to get it over the pad in that situation, like from where he was, man, that's a lot of strength right there for him. He's a hell of a player.
Oh.
So listen, but Binnington was incredible. But one thing Binnington said, and I sat down with him afterwards. You can check out the YouTube video that's on the Blues.
It was good.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't.
See, I watch all Andy's stuff. I pay attention to everything of Andy.
You didn't tell me.
I listen to all his stuff, and then Andy will call me and ask me how he did.
You didn't tell me.
And then I'll tell him he did a dang good job because he always does. Now I'll chirp.
Okay, so listen. So Binnington, we did this thing for the Blues YouTube, celebrating him just breaking the all-time franchise record for wins.
Mm-hmm.
And but we just kind of just talked, honestly, in this conversation. We just went over, it's like, I know some people are probably like, why didn't you ask him about saying I'm not nervous? And it's like,
we talked about that already a million times.
I've asked him that a million times. Well, how come you didn't talk about Game 7?
Because it's 6 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. We talked about that.
He doesn't want to talk about that.
This is new stuff.
Just talk.
He's doing great.
Just talk.
He was Dominik Hasek. He made some unbelievable saves in that game.
He talks kind of quiet,
Except for one time, I'm doing the radio. Andy is doing TV, interviewing people. He interviews Benner's mom.
Did you see that?
And during that sequence, Andy's interviewing Benner's mom. Benner is literally making unbelievable saves. And like I don't know if you could see the TV. I saw you, but I don't know if they were able to show the saves. But you're in such a bad spot because you're interviewing his mom. You might get something great out of it.
Did you hear it?
Yes, I'm up there laughing at you.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
I'm laughing.
How are you able to do that if you're doing the game?
Because I'm watching TV. It's on TV.
But you can't hear me.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so I'm like, oh my God, break down that save for us. And she would, because first she was like, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, you can't be nervous. You're Jordan Binnington's mom. She was cool.
There's a caption going on.
She was so cool, man. Cool. Lindsay.
Yeah.
And she was awesome. So we're like, and all of a sudden it's just going back. I'm like, oh my God, John, I got to give it back to you.
Get out of here. Get out of
So
here.
it played off perfectly.
It was
where
funny. It was cool.
You know, where honestly, as a reporter, like that's like the worst case scenario.
Worst case
But
scenario.
I think I'm just been through it a couple times now where you're just like, whatever. You just send it back to John. It's like, well, have fun with it.
One time you had somebody on, somebody's
neighbor's dad, and neighbor scored while I'm interviewing his dad. And it went viral. It was crazy.
Great. So that was kind of the same.
If that was, you know, because it is his mom, like she's not, you know, probably as quick with it with the hockey stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
Like it would have been amazing. She was like, "Oh my," you know, breaking down the save. You know, like you know, it's
Dominic Hasek.
But the Hasek one, and Binnington even said he thought that he made a Hasek save. Didn't realize that it hit the post. I thought he did too. He made some his save on Couturier was absolutely just remarkable. But you know, one thing Binnington said though afterwards that I thought was interesting because as a fan, as somebody who never played in the NHL,
you didn't.
I'm just talking about fans in general.
My bad.
Did you play?
10 years.
So, I always thought how cool it would be to get recognized on a carpet with your kids and your family. Like whether, you know, the 1,000 game celebrations, 1,000 point celebrations, retirement, whatever. And so Binnington's like, man, I've seen these for years. And it was like almost surreal to actually be the guy that was being recognized and being honored. His wife's there. Little Johnny.
Hi.
They give him little Johnny. He's holding the baby on the ice. His mom's there.
So cute.
That was an emotional moment for Binnington, who, you know, people who don't know him, whatever, but he's one of the coolest,
awesome guy.
People
you guys would love
going
him.
In the NHL.
Such an awesome guy. Very spiritual. Listen to our podcast.
Spiritual
in a good way.
The sense of not religious.
No. That's religious. Spiritual's different.
Yeah.
Where he meditates.
Because that's what I am.
Whatever.
Spiritual.
Andy's everything. He meditates. He's just a really down-to-earth, really cool guy. Mm-hmm. And he's so mellow to when you see him get mad, you're like that. He just has this kind of, he has a different element to himself, but he's such a chill, cool guy. And that was so sweet at the beginning. You know, I was wondering where his daddy was.
Yeah, he wasn't there for that game, but Lindsay was there.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Anyway.
Can I give another shout out?
Yeah.
Patty Maroon.
800 games.
800 games.
Are you
goddamn boy. Oakville boy, let's go. 800, let's go. 3 Stanley Cups. Come on.
Dude.
Good for you, Patty. We love you, man. We love your family.
800 is just.
Come on.
What a number. And
awesome.
For this guy to be doing that with the whole story of you know, almost quitting hockey early in his professional career. Not knowing if he was going to play 100 games, let alone 800. I remember talking to his parents, his first ever game that he played here in St. Louis, man, it seems like yesterday. And a big shout out. And I also remember a couple years ago, Cam, when he played his 500th game.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal for Pat Maroon to get to 500. And then he kept going 600, 700, 800. This guy, what a career that he's had.
You know, he had a rocky start for sure. The Philadelphia situation was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just like, you know, he had a young kid at a young age in juniors. He was playing in London.
Yeah.
You know, and he had
Tony doing a great job now, man.
You know, little Anthony who's playing great hockey right now. So like you put yourself in all these different situations. He wasn't working out as much at a young age. He had so much on his plate and he started working out more and more and did this and just figured himself out and built his confidence. And now he's playing 800 games. He's playing with Connor Bedard. An awesome organization. He's won 3 Stanley Cups.
Settle down with Chicago. They got
they're fucking boring. No offense, Patty, but your fucking team's boring.
Awesome team, awesome organization. Well, they are a great organization.
Well, I mean,
over the years.
Like,
they fucked everything.
Don't turn me too much. They're bad now.
They had some issues. You know,
Bedard scored the other night.
They had some issues.
They had some issues, but they also won 3 out of whatever.
Before that,
they were loaded.
Mm-hmm.
You play there when they're good, man. Like you see the place is so packed. The place is so packed in warm-ups. The national anthem goes off. You're like freaking, you're crying on the bench because you're so pumped up because everybody's going crazy. Like, no, that place is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
They're not good right now.
Back then it was.
They were. It's still packing in there, dude. You kidding?
Okay.
It is.
Because Bedard, people are still going down there.
Right.
He's not scoring. How about what Luke Richardson said after the game? He said, well, it's great if he scores 1, but it's not great when then you get scored on twice. So it's okay. You don't want to score 1, then get scored on twice.
Yeah,
okay.
Step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all their goals are on the power play right now. They're not scoring 5-on-5.
No, they're not good.
You know who's fun to watch? Is Columbus. That's who I like watching.
Andy.
Dude, they've won I think they're on a 6-game point streak.
Yeah.
This is not the Columbus Blue Jackets that you knew the last several years. New management, everything, it just feels fresh.
They're going.
It feels new.
Yep.
Obviously the tragedy that took place in the offseason, but
multiple tragedies.
This Kent Johnson is getting an opportunity, scoring goals. They missed him when he wasn't healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Werenski's on an 8-game scoring streak, man. This guy obviously is going to be named to the Four Nations, baby, for Team USA.
That's good.
And, he's putting up points, but more importantly, they're winning games. And I'll say this, Dean Evison, who I think the Blues kicked tires on. I don't know how far it got, but they did. His name was certainly brought up internally when they were looking for a head coach or deciding what they were going to do. They eventually brought back Drew Bannister. But Dean Evison has brought some real discipline and some accountability, and they just look like a real NHL team.
Good for them.
They're getting goaltending from Elvis. Dude, he's making some amazing saves.
Some stuff too.
He has.
I root for them. We said this off the bat, dude.
Yeah.
We're rooting for that team,
that
organization.
I was like, they're fun to watch.
We like them, dude. Damn right.
But Fantilli, all these guys, man, they got some good young players. I like Dean Evison a lot, man. I really do. And we had him on
great
here,
with us. Check that mug out, by the way. He was fantastic.
And he is, I just like the fact that he's, brought some of that, credibility that you're talking about.
You got to read some of that?
No, I was just looking to see. I wrote down a bunch of stuff today.
Well, who else am I giving?
Well, David Jiricek just got traded from there too, and that's another thing that Columbus is like. Okay, he's not our guy. We're not married to him. He was drafted by the previous regime. Go ahead and move on from him. There's some question marks about him as a player, skating maybe a little bit. Hopefully he goes on to have a great career. His brother was drafted in the first round by the Blues, so you have a little bit of a connection there. Hope he goes on to have a great career. Billy Guerin knows what he's doing. You think the scouting staff would certainly know. They're accumulating young D, but I don't mind the move for Columbus. He's not even playing there right now. Just
do your thing, dude.
Just move on.
We're rooting for you.
And I don't know if he wanted to be there. He wants to play in the NHL. He's been down in the minors for the most part.
Who am I giving him a shout out to? Actually, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new favorite basketball player right now. Who do you think it is? It ties in with hockey. Tough guy.
What team does she play on?
Winner.
In the WNBA?
Andy would think that way, wouldn't he?
Because
it's a he. It's a he. A NBA player.
Because do you know the women's soccer player of the year was just...
I know. Fine.
Don't distract
that
story?
Me. No. There's a tough guy NBA player that likes a certain
NHL. Dude.
Come on.
Draymond.
Man, did you hear that interview?
Best interview with Draymond Green.
He is cool as shit.
Years ago when he was named to his first NBA All-Star team. And they brought him on live on SportsCenter.
There you go.
To tell him.
Let's go, Andy. Come on.
And his mom calls in to give him the news, okay? So he's being interviewed courtside, whatever. They bring his mom, on the phone, and she was like, Draymond! And he's like, who's this? And he's like, Draymond! And he didn't know who it was. 3 or 4 times she said his name. He's like, I don't know who it is. And she goes, boo-boo! And then he knew right away.
Oh,
my God. Oh, my God. It's too soon. That's
not what I'm talking about, though.
I didn't mean that. But he had a great
interview about
soundbite the other day at a press conference about Macklin Celebrini.
So good.
Who should be on Team Canada, by the way.
He
before Bedard. This guy is going to be so good. Everyone's like, Bedard. He should be on Team Canada. What about Macklin Celebrini, dude?
He looks really good.
If Bedard was in this rookie class, well, he put up some good. I got hurt last year. I'm not going to chirp Bedard too, because I said this to Cam the other day. This guy's going to get hot. He's too good. He's going to score a bunch of goals. So everybody who's saying he can't play, I just know he's struggling. And he's not putting up the numbers that you wanted him to put up in the second year. But I'm not going to take that too far. He's got too much talent, and I hope that he goes on to have a Hall of Fame career, okay?
But if you saw what Draymond Green and the way he describes hockey plays
up the court,
it's so funny. But he's genuine about it. That's what I took away from him. I'm like, he genuinely knows this kid because of his dad and how they all train together. And the way he talked about Macklin Celebrini was so pure.
Pure.
I loved it, man. Check that out. Draymond Green, fucking all respect. By the way, Draymond Green will call out the WNBA players too, just so you know.
Does he?
I kind of like him.
What did he say? Because
he's just real.
that's going to change my opinion on him a little bit.
You might not like him because he's actually a realist like me, and he calls some cats out.
Caitlin Clark will win the MVP.
We don't need to get too deep.
In her second year, she'll win the MVP.
My point is,
she's been working on her left hand.
Don't care. I like Caitlin, but Draymond Green is so cool, man. He's so real. Does he use stupid things on the court? Yeah, I know. Okay, I know. He'll step on you.
Yeah, but you don't care about that.
I don't give a fuck.
You don't even watch the NBA.
Yeah, but I see that kind of stuff. I don't care about that. The way he talked about Macklin Celebrini was so cool, man. It was so real, and I'm going to give him a little shout out.
He had a couple, he was trying to describe the game, but
funny.
He's using basketball terminology.
No, but he knows what he's talking
about. He does, because he just knows sports,
he's an athlete.
Dude, he's an athlete.
Yes, he knows what's going on. And basketball and hockey are, in a way, like give and go, and it's still kind of similar. Back check, do this, defense. It's all somewhat similar.
He's like, he gets knocked down. He goes, one game he had no shots on goal, but he's doing the little things, and he's finding ways to do this and do that to still impact the game without getting a shot on goal. So the next game he comes out and he's trying to get shots on goal, gets knocked down, gets back up. Macklin Celebrini, man,
so cool.
This guy's 18.
Yep,
doing his thing. Him, Michkov. I mean, if Adar was in this class, I don't know where he'd be, because that goalie in Calgary is doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I know.
Wolf.
I'll be up there. Oh God, Calgary. By the way, when you do radio in Calgary, it's so good.
Are you gonna be able to walk across that catwalk?
I'm gonna walk across the catwalk like this, and then you go up and you have to lean over like, yeah, I'm watching the game. It's shaking. Get that fucking thing fixed. Another shout out. Did you see that? There's some badass fights going on, by the way. Badass fights. Did you see that fucking Olivier and that Lomberg?
Give Lomberg some credit for that.
Giving you a shout out. Hey, man, I know what it's like, baby. You're a smaller guy. Olivier's a big boy. He was tagging you, and you fucking started throwing. You got to watch kind of eating those punching square like that, man. You got to find a little bit better rhythm. All good. No big deal.
But he's not a tough guy, dude.
He fights guys. He beat the fuck out of that Bash.
Lomberg?
Who'd he beat?
He's tough. Like, he's built. Like, he's shredded, man.
He
ripped
pumped
like a motherfucker.
up somebody the other day with lefts. But he stood in there.
He did.
God, Olivier.
You know how many goals Olivier has?
He's got some.
7.
I know.
I think
every time I look at the score sheet,
he'd be like the team leader on some teams.
I'd take him.
Oh, my God. Where are these guys at?
Where are you in juniors? Where are you? Where's this guy? He's throwing from fucking top fist pumping, like pistons going on. And that Lomberg ate him, man. I'm like, whoa, goddamn. That was entertaining.
Lomberg's entertaining, dude.
I like him.
The Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah, he's jacked as fuck.
He is.
Gotta give another shout out, too. I'm throwing shout outs.
You're throwing shout out Monday.
Because I got things going down,
what else?
Baby.
Because, like,
St. Louis kid.
Let me decide if this is...
St. Louis kid.
Well, there's a lot of them.
That just got his first game in Colorado, baby.
Oh, yeah, my boy, dude.
Yeah, Chasey Bradley. What's up, homie? He skates with alumni, dude. Can I say something real quick? I hope I don't offend him. He hangs out with Jim Campbell, my buddy that played for the Blues.
There's a connection there.
And, like, throughout we're all skating, and I didn't know he was that good. And all of a sudden he gets called up to the fucking Avs. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think it's a situation where, and like, listen, good for him. He was a late round pick, I think 7th round pick of Detroit originally.
He's a cool
and
kid,
he
dude.
found his way to the Avalanche organization. But, played college hockey at UConn. I mean, didn't come in
I thought he was
overly
just working for Soupy.
heralded, played here in St. Louis. He left, though. He went and played in New Jersey, I think his Bantam years and stuff like that. And kind of bounced around a little bit, but obviously has the St. Louis connection, and he's a native St. Louisan. So we'll give him the shout out. But they called up like 4 guys or something at once. Colorado's got a shit ton. Once you get to the big dogs with Colorado, I mean, that roster drops off significantly.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, they had like 3 or 4 call-ups, so I don't know their injury situation, but it's good to see Chase Bradley get a game, dude.
Chase Bradley, a little shout-out, man. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Right on.
A lot of people were reaching out and being like, damn, I didn't know he was on that trajectory. I'm
no
like,
idea.
Hey, it's a sign for everybody, man. You're playing at one level below the NHL. You're in the American League.
Just shows
you keep focused, man. You go play hard every game. You never know who's watching and how much they're going to appreciate your game and how they're going to say, listen, this guy deserves an opportunity to come up and play.
You don't know, like, you got to really pay if you're in the minors, always pay attention to what's going on above you, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't have to be the next best league. Like, what do they need? Like, always remember, Like, just because there's other guys on your team that have more points than you, they might not need him on the first two lines. They need a guy that could just go grind it. Like, just always remember that. You could be next, one step away, and now you're playing in goddamn Colorado with fucking Nathan McKinnon and Cal McCarr. Are you kidding? Did you see Cal McCarr the other day? Kale comes down. He's just 10-2 on it. Going in. Sweet. He's on 1-4, does this, and all of a sudden a fucking...
Throws it off the boards to himself.
Throws off the board himself. Dipsy doodles, 10-2. Get away from me. Fucking swings at the opposite of the ice for a one-timer. Like, no look. Unbelievable. Some badass goals going on.
Did you hear that the league is looking at potentially fining teams $5 million for tampering? Because, this has been way long overdue, and they probably will never do it. I mean, you can say, hey, we're looking at $5 million fines and all this type of stuff. Because these players are getting signed on July 1st, right off the bat. Everybody knows they're signing like days leading up to July 1st. Like, the teams that actually follow the rules are at such a disadvantage right now.
Just from
compared to the teams that try to cheat the system and,
define that so people know what you're talking about.
They're talking to players, free agents specifically, right? Unrestricted free agents. Yeah. You're typically not allowed to speak to them until July 1st at whatever, 12 Eastern or whatever it is. That's when it's supposed to start. Guys have extension and contracts already agreed to. Not extensions, but, free agent contracts agreed to 2 or 3, 4 days beforehand, before we even get to July 1st. So there may be a team who says, no, I play by the rules. I want to sign this guy. But you got Tom, Dick, and Harry over there already negotiating with them, in the last 3, 4 days of June between the draft and July 1st, or maybe they're meeting up with the agent, because you agents know who you are too. It's not just the teams, it's the agents.
It's always the agents
that are, driving the bus with a lot of this also. And so the teams who play by the rules, who say we're going to wait till July 1st to reach out to them, well, in some cases it's too late. And you know which teams they are, because there's a lot of teams all of a sudden, like last summer, man, you saw some team. And at the time, I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. Everybody's doing it. But from what I understand and what the league, I think, is saying is not everybody's doing it.
So if no one's going to, there's no repercussions. If you're a GM, are you not going to do that? Are you going to sit back and wait?
Well, this is the hard part, because if I'm a GM and everybody else is cheating, that's where I have an issue with it. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm waiting till July 1st because that's the rules.
Behind the 8 ball then, dude.
And now I'm behind. I can't even go out there and, negotiate, even give a pitch to a player that I want to bring in, because he already has a deal agreed to. Tyler Bertuzzi, man. I love Tyler Bertuzzi. Some of these other guys, man, in Chicago and whatnot, they've had contracts. You heard they were going to sign long before it even got to July 1st. So I'm not blaming the agent. The agent's got to work for the player and try his best to do what he's got to do.
Too.
And I don't really blame the teams that try to get out in front of it, because why wouldn't you when the league doesn't have anything to say about it? Well, now apparently they do. They're threatening $5 million fines. That'll get teams' attention. We'll see.
I just don't want
we'll see if it
I don't
changes
want a team that's kind of struggling as far as revenue is concerned, just get dinged by $5 million.
Toffoli signed a deal
$5 million fine, and everybody else is doing it. Like, now you got me. Like, I don't know.
I think everyone knew Toffoli was signing in San Jose.
Yeah, that happens.
There was listen, and I will say this: I've reported players signing that, like, hey, X guy is gonna sign with this team, like, and it'll be like June 29th, June 28th. To a 2-year deal, whatever, and like I've had the agent call me and be like, "Why did you put that out there?" Like,
why would you do that?
Because I didn't think anything of it. Like, because the player is telling me that he's signing there, or one of his buddies, or whatever.
Before July 1st.
Yes.
Well, you should know the rules, and so now you're causing chaos. I like it. Andy, who cares?
Probably.
That's the old Andy. That's when Andy was fucking digging deep, boy. Would you do that now?
Probably not, because I don't care as much anymore. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to get jammed up.
It's just...
You don't want to cause
It's not that important to me.
No.
I will say that, and I don't mean this in any type of way. Take it for what you want. But I think a real insider, a real reporter, maybe reports 10% of what they know.
Oh, yeah, maybe
you know what I'm saying?
5%. Probably less.
Some guys just want to throw everything they get and everything out there.
Not the big boys.
But now... and you have relationships with agents and teams, and they would say, hey, you got to hold on to this until July 1st. You got to hold on to this until July 1st.
If I tell you something, you fucking tweet it out. I'm like, God damn it, I'm never telling you.
But, like, this was like little things. It was like an NHL player. This is a few years back. playing golf with other NHL players, and he tells the guy, "Hey, I got a deal with this team. I already signed. It's already agreed to. I'm signing it on July 1st. Can't sign yet, but it's agreed to." And you talk to those players, and they're like, "Yeah, I just played golf with so and so. He says he's signing with this team." So it's just, and you whatever. It is what it is. But I think you got to be careful now if you're a team or certainly an agent. Would you rather the league get a hold of that, or do you really care if they're negotiating beforehand? There was like
I would say
a 5-day period or whatever it was a few years back.
One or the other, though.
Where teams had an opportunity to negotiate. Just open that back up because they're going to try to do it anyway.
Make it.
And a $5 million fine for something like this seems a little bit excessive. But
excessive.
Hey, tampering's a real deal, dude.
$5 million? That fucking rocks you.
Oh, yeah. But tampering is a legit issue.
Well, okay, we'll make it easier for everybody. Like, you can't have half the teams not doing it and half the teams doing it. That's what's bad.
Yeah.
That makes everything bad for hockey.
Mm-hmm.
It fucks everything up. Like, it's not fair. So, like, make it easier to deal with. Either you're getting fucking fined, or there's leeway. Here's the leeway spot. Blah blah blah. Whatever it is.
Sorry if I'm sounding a little nasally right now. It's just the weather and the sickness has been going through my house. My kid had an ear infection.
Always sick.
My other daughter was just under the weather.
Yoink. The weather's been pretty hardcore here in St. Louis.
Hey, so
hardcore.
Apparently, the Rangers are upset that it got out that they were looking to potentially unload Jacob Trouba and Chris Kreider.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I mean, there is like a circle of trust among general managers, but I don't know if it's GMs necessarily like the ones that are like throwing this out there. They could be, but a lot of people see these memos when they go through, like different people on the staff. The GM tells this guy, who tells that guy. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. It gets out.
It gets out.
The Rangers are a mess.
They're a mess right now, and so maybe you need to like spice it up a little bit. Get the guys thinking. Trouba had a nice fight the other day. All they got his fucking ass kicked by Anderson. Jays Louise.
Could that be?
Do you see that mug?
Yeah, Mikey or Josh Anderson.
Josh Anderson was
could
throwing
that
bombs.
Be contributing to their struggles?
What?
That this gets out?
No, I think that it's probably going to help them.
Like the players get.
They were bad before this came out.
Mm-hmm.
They were going on a big time skid, man. Where the Blues beat them too. They look kind of goofy. They made some big time mistakes.
You know who bashes them?
Avery fucking smashes the Rangers.
I love Sean Avery.
Love it.
Man.
Avery, what's up? A little shout out, baby. Shawnee boy, let's go.
we got to get his ass back on.
Yes. He's fucking bashing Zibanejad bad.
Bashing him.
And like
and Peter Laviolette.
But he's not wrong. Like he's showing the clips. He's like, look he's not back. Look at him. Fucking he's way back here. He should be here.
I would hire Sean Avery just to come break down film for my team.
Just to fucking keep you on your toes, man.
Exactly. I'm like, listen, I'd be like a coach and be like, you want this to be out there on the internet?
You want him
this
to
guy
fucking
bashing you?
I love it. I love it.
Sean Avery, man.
That's fun. It's easy to do though. Like you could go on, like we could both do that and be like, yeah, look at you doing. Boom,
He's got
boom,
the pointer out.
He's got the pointer. I love it.
But
man.
Shesterkin wants the entire salary cap.
He wants to make $30 million a year.
He wants the entire cap.
He thinks he's in the NBA. You know what I mean.
Does Kreider have an assist yet?
No, he's got like 9 goals and no assists. I don't mind that though.
It's kind of funny.
Winnipeg's losing some games too.
Well, you knew that was going to happen a little bit. As long as they started like 11-1. I think then they went 7-4 in the next stretch. They just got to like maintain that. Well, that's going to happen. Every team's going to lose 3 in a row during the course of a game.
Minnesota's kind of still kicking around. Caprio.
Hey, the West is open.
The West is going, dude.
All right, but I got to ask you about JT Miller, dude.
I don't like that whole scenario. Like, what's wrong with you? And listen, it could be mental stuff. It could be this. It could be family. It could be whatever. But that fucking team needs you, man. Not only that, like everybody surrounding that team needs you. Like you're trying to make the goddamn playoffs here and perform. Like that helps everybody out. And all of a sudden you're out. Like what? For what?
What about some people who are saying that he's showing significant bravery for what he's doing?
For what?
And that they hope other players follow suit.
And stop playing? And you not tell anybody specifically why? So, that doesn't mean you're brave, listen, in my opinion.
And I don't know. And JT Miller, man,
we
love this guy.
He's great.
And
he's a warrior.
He's going to be named to Team USA, and he's going to be available. Team USA, from what I understand, is fully confident that he's going to be available for the tournament coming up. So they're naming him to the team. He'll be on the team.
Okay, but what does that mean?
So But my thing is about JT Miller. I just wonder. He's always had a reputation, Cam, of being very hard on his teammates. I mean, borderline like abusive. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, some of those. I'm sure Nathan McKinnon's similar. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Like, you don't see what goes on behind the scenes between periods, after games, whatever. You don't get the puck out. Like, I'm wide open. You don't move the puck. I'm sure he's hard on those guys. And he got benched by Rick Tocchet. And JT Miller is so intense. And we all know how good he is. But, like, he's not going to be afraid of anybody. I'm not saying he shouldn't be afraid of Rick Tocchet, but he's probably, he doesn't give a shit, man. Like, he knows who he is as a player, how important he is to the team. He's got a belief system. And I'm sure for some people it's hard to accept how he goes about handling it sometimes. And maybe he does cross the line. So I don't know what happened here, but maybe the team told him, hey, you just need to step away and get a handle on some of these issues that maybe you have, because it doesn't appear to be substance abuse. There's no release from the league that says he's entered the substance abuse program. So I understand when people say, I give him credit because he's stepping away. And I know you don't want to hear that he makes a lot of money, but
he makes a lot of money.
There's a dad out there with 4 kids, 5 kids, 2 kids, 3 kids, who gets up at 4 a.m. every day, who doesn't want to, who's fucking grinding it every single day, who's got his own issues, you know what I mean? And he doesn't have a choice. So to me, this is not a bravery situation. And you can't come out and say he's being brave without knowing the information. Until we know the information and what this is all about, then I think you can really, truly say this is brave or this is good for him or it's not good for him.
It's just a cop-out for people to be like, no. This happened with a lot of people. Simone Biles quit the Olympics, and everybody's like, she's a brave. It's like, no.
She's a brave.
And I get why she did, because if you're messed up when you do all those twists, but I think I would say bravery would be like, fuck it, I'm doing this shit anyway, and I'm going to just roll the dice and hopefully win a gold medal. I don't know if they won that year or not, but no, this does, like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, people need to know. Like, they really do. Just give us something.
Can I tell you why it's a little confusing? Because Cam, and I'm very sensitive to this too, and I love JT Miller as a player. Man, he's one of my favorite players in the league. But one day they're showing his kids and his family reacting to an overtime winning goal, and the dog dancing around and the kids jumping up and down. He just scored an overtime winner. Remember that video that went viral? Yep. And then a short time later, he's no longer with the team. So it's like one day it's like elation and everybody is excited, euphoria, everything's great. And then the next day it's like, I'm out. Rock bottom, he's out. I just think there has to be a little bit of transparency. If it's that personal, then I get it. We don't need to know. But if he's not dealing with drug or alcohol abuse, and if this is something that the team initiated, then I think maybe that should probably get out at some point.
Specifics, like, you don't have to be like, well, this would happen, this blah blah, but some sort of general, like something like, hey, he's got this going on, family,
and then we can determine.
Well, what'd they say?
They haven't.
Then that's the thing, and people are like, well, what the fuck?
It's a personal issue.
Oh yeah, but what?
But they've been asked, is this drugs or alcohol related or whatever? No. Okay. And well, they don't give any answer. But I mean, typically that gets out if that's the case.
Well, they don't give any answer for.
But
injuries.
is this team initiated? Because then you have, like, the GM did come out and make a statement several days later. I mean, he didn't make a statement right away. He came out and made a statement several days later. You got Jake DeBrusk, our boy, scoring a hat trick and scoring the game overtime winner and saying, hey, we want him back, we miss him, and all this type of stuff. So it's you just wonder what the real situation is. And did he cross the line with somebody inside the organization, Cam, behind the scenes?
Maybe. Tell us something. I think people do deserve to know.
And if that's the case, then this isn't a situation of bravery or something like that.
That gets thrown around so much.
But that's where we need to know before you can come to any type of conclusion as to what it is.
They throw the bravery out to people that really aren't brave, and then they call the the opposite effect. Very bizarre.
I got to give my boy Jeff Merrick a shout out because he's back, doing stuff, and it's good to see him. And
like him, man. That's our boy right there. What's up?
I worked with Jeff years and years ago during the Mike Danton trial. I've known him for a long, long time.
Always pumps my tires up.
Yeah, man. We love Jeff. Yep. Did some stuff with our boys over there with Spitting Chicklets and doing some other stuff too. So his own podcast.
Yeah.
But he did have the head of Hockey Canada on the other day, and I'm just curious your take when he had asked her about if there's any plans to change the logo, pointing out that there's no female hockey player on the Hockey Canada logo.
For the men?
Well, for just Hockey Canada.
So he wants to change
the logo.
Wait, does he want to change the logo for the women specifically to have a female on there?
Not sure.
Or does he want to change the logo to a woman? Well, that's ridiculous to do that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, people complaining about that?
Well, I think people
I would say 0.0001% would be complaining
about the Canada
we
logo.
We need a woman on the Canadian logo. You can't even tell if it's a woman or a guy anyway. It's Canada's logo.
I never thought of it.
You can't even tell. Does it have a wiener?
I never thought of that.
It's a silhouette.
But the reason why I bring that up because it gets me to there's talk about bringing the Washington Redskins back.
Well, yeah, people are figuring it out.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, because no one cares. Like normal people, don't give a fuck about any of that shit. It's always the people that has nothing to do with them that they're the ones complaining about it. Like, does you think the women are complaining that the Canadians, like the Olympic logo has a woman? They no one even knows what it is. It could be a fucking anything. Look at it.
But how do you know that's a guy? How much money was spent changing the logos and the rebranding of all these different organizations? The Cleveland Indians, you got the Fighting Sioux from North Dakota. You've got the Washington Redskins. I'm sure it costs some money to change the branding. Of course it does. It's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass. For what? For what?
And
really people complaining?
And
like,
now,
do you know anybody that's like, I cannot believe the Blackhawks are called the Blackhawks. I can't believe they're gonna fucking anoint that warrior, that Blackhawk.
I don't know.
I can't believe that.
But the Hockey Canada one was I had never heard that.
No one has. I don't know why you said that. I love him. Awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart. But when you brought that up, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what you're worried about of everything? Like, I don't even think the women care.
Who's on the women's logo for WNBA? Is it Cheryl Swoops?
Fucking fine.
Is it Lisa Leslie?
I don't know, man. Don't know. I don't care. Like that kind of stuff just does not bother me.
Doesn't bother you?
Do you hang out with people who really that bothers them?
No,
like I don't.
Are you hanging out with people who are
sensitive?
Change the logo.
I mean, okay.
Maybe they are.
Hitting that bong. Yeah, no one is, Andy. No, it's a very small percentage.
All right. Well, so. It made its rounds, and it was a very well seen clip.
Oh yeah.
No,
what were people saying?
You didn't see the clip?
No.
Oh.
What were people saying? Were they like,
the response was not over.
And I love Jeff. I don't know why you brought
I read a handful of comments, and they were kind of like,
what?
I will say, when the question was being asked, like it came out of the left field. I didn't watch the whole podcast, but just that clip. And when the question is being asked, I'm like, wait, what? And then he said something that I wasn't familiar with when he said no para. And I thought you were going to be able to explain that to me, what that meant.
I don't know. Don't know. That's the most.
But I love Jeff. We're going to bring him on and we'll talk about it.
Get him on. Let's get him on. No one cares about that,
But some people might.
Some who care. You can't cater to some people.
He does.
You cater to the majority of people. Does. Like you're going to do that. Like, what's the point of that?
He does.
Do the women even care?
No,
they're just like, just talk about us.
No, he does.
The New York whatever won the WHL. Just so all y'all know,
the whole championship.
What?
They didn't. They haven't had the final yet.
What?
The PW.
Never mind. I thought the New York.
Maybe they did.
What's her name?
I don't know.
No. What's her name?
There's games.
No.
The Pride.
Is it?
I think so. Because the Boston Charge are coming here as well as
very excited.
No, the Boston Fleet and the Ottawa Charge are coming to St. Louis.
Cool.
Although Jinsy's playing, so I'll give Jinsy a shout out.
Jinsy done. What's up, girl?
And Hillary Knight too, who's one of the best power forwards.
Jinsy, what's up, girl?
If
Love
you
all
were
your
to,
family.
If you were to come,
I'm just saying. Does Jinsy care if there's like? I don't know.
If you were to come back as a player, I would tell you to watch Hillary Knight and be like her.
All right.
Because she gets to the dirty areas.
I knew who won, and Andy didn't. They showed it today on the NHL Network.
Golly, I think I saw that. I didn't know it was the final.
They celebrated with a trophy.
Big congratulations. Well, I don't understand why this game is coming. What's the name of their team? I want to say the Pride.
Look at your phone. I'm not editing this either.
Because I'm pretty sure.
The Pride.
Let's see.
Maddie, what is it?
New York Sirens.
Way off. You are way off. How dare you? 2 daughters, too. I don't like what I'm hearing right now, Andy. I don't like it. Now I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, dude, this was not.
Oh, God.
Minnesota Frost opened PWHL season. They just started the season.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, my God, dude.
What do you mean?
The season just started.
They had a trophy in front of them. They had a trophy in front of them. Get on with yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They celebrated. They
took
a
picture. The New York Sirens bring fresh take and stability into PWHL season opener.
So they get a trophy for the opener?
I don't know. I didn't see the trophy.
How dare you not watch
You sure
stuff?
It wasn't like a post game, like they were handing out like a present?
No, they had a trophy and they're like this.
Okay.
You know.
Interesting.
So.
All right. Listen.
Change the logo.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick, man. They've got so much stuff going on for Black Friday specials that are still happening. In fact, there's something else going on too, Cam, which I want to look at real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber Monday.
Oh, God, yeah.
Cyber Monday. It's today.
Hey, I will. Oh, go ahead.
Is that today, Cyber Monday?
Today is Monday.
Do you know? So I've been doing my multi-factor vitamin.
Oh, I crush those, and you piss out everything too.
No, dude, it's highlighter yellow.
Get it out of me.
It's a lot of vitamin B that's coming out.
Get it through,
but
baby.
It's harmless. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But it's highlighter yellow. My not to
Urine
get too
is
specific
hardcore.
right now.
I love it.
And that's common when you start. So I've been noticing a lot of changes already, actually, and it's super positive. I'm on this joint medication too, man, to make my joints feel good because my elbow tendonitis, which is very severe. The doctor said 10 out of 10, this is a 10. And the doctor said 10 out of 10, this is a 10.
Yeah, baby. So funny. Anyway, Cyber Money, check that mug out. Hey, listen, I remember the days in the 90s and stuff where Black Friday, everybody's like, blop, get out of here. But Kate went online and hooked me up with all kinds of son of a bitch. God damn it.
Did you get a new coat?
Yeah. It's cheap, but
Where'd you get it? Joseph A. Bank or something?
Calvin Klein. I'll get chirped, but it's all good. But like Kate just like hooked me up with all kinds of different things for the road. Good.
Okay.
So, and she got it like there's like fucking $15.
What size is that?
Double XL.
Is it? I gotta try that on.
God. Double XL, baby. It's gonna be cold.
So check out firstform.com/Cam and Strick. You got to use our link, man. Please do. We appreciate it.
Love all you.
Hook your significant other, your kids, your athletes in your family up with some protein sticks, man, some energy drinks, and lots of stocking stuffers and different things to take to finish the 2024 year in style.
Yeah, baby.
And then begin 2025. It's a new year.
I know.
Bolt Sports, Cam. So our dangler came in, and Ty was doing a little stick handling thing.
Your dangler?
Yeah, so like you can I'll show you. Like you can stick handle, and it keeps track of like your score. Yep. The app is free. It's so easy to download. By the way, Louis the 13th. That's what the players got. Jordan Bennington.
Louis
the 13th.
Do you know what that is?
It's wine.
No.
Oh, he probably
it's fucking hardcore,
beheaded
baby.
Somebody.
If you go to a bar and you order Louis the fucking 13th shot, it's gonna be way up top, and they're gonna have to get a ladder, and they're gonna get that mug.
How much is the shot?
$115 a piece
for a shot. Oh, that's not bad. No, it is.
For fucking Heath, what are you talking about?
What will it do for you as a?
Get drunk.
Well, the bottle's like $3,500.
The bottle looks beautiful.
7,000.
So you'll see these Louis 13. You'll see that mug in these in nice bars, and it's like over $100 a shot.
Dude, $100 as a shot is very expensive. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is
you kind of did say it wasn't that bad, and I'm like, what kind of person are you?
No, I'm just saying like when the bottle, because I looked it up. There's different ones.
Much?
There's 3,500. There's 4,800. There's 7,000.
So it's $100
So I
a
thought
shot.
you were gonna say like it was like a $500 shot.
No, it's $100 shot, and that's expensive. You know what yourself. It could be more than that. People are going to correct me on that. I think it's more. But that's a nice bottle right there, homie.
Yeah.
God dang right. And he also got something else, too.
But this is Bolt Sports. So
there it is.
Yeah, so you can stick handle, and then it keeps track of your, makes a little noise, lights up. But there's all different stick handling things you can do. You can toe drag, you can do stuff
in and out, backhand, all that stuff.
This is called quick hands. So it's just basically how fast can you stick handle back and forth past
Yep, that's all. Just boom, boom, blah, 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 blah.
So.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So that is.
Can I have one?
Well,
because I'll do it in my freaking garage.
I know. If you can get them to send, you gotta have to get another one, dude.
Oh, should I get? Oh, I know. I get nothing. I get nothing.
Well, when you have a kid, I'll have a lot of things to pass down.
Like I can do it and then show off.
Oh, well,
too.
come over.
I can go. No, I'll do it in my goddamn garage and go against him.
I'll give you one.
Why do I have to go to your house?
Fine, I'll give you one of those things.
Yeah, give me one. Or unless you want to give it to a kid. I get that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think I might.
My bad.
Yeah. Bolt Sports, dude. They've got the dangler, they got the snipes, they got the e-cones. The snipes you put on your net like it's targets, dude. And like,
bang, dang,
dude,
dang,
you download
dang,
the app
dang.
and like it makes all these noises and it keeps track of your score, dude. It's
I love it.
So much fun. The kids absolutely love it. They can play against each other, so get all the teammates involved in it.
I will come over.
If you're a team and you've got a little shooting area where you guys train and stuff like that, you got to buy these for your training area and let all the boys come in and compete one at a time and do it and keep track of their scores.
Yeah.
This is genius, man.
Yeah, I
Our
love
boy Sam and Benoit, dude.
What up, dude?
Or Francois.
What's Francois?
Francois,
what's up, homie?
He's a coach, dude. He's on a lot of their videos and stuff like that, doing different shit. And Sam, he's the brains behind all of it. So, dude, go. People tell me, and they were saying something to me at the rink the other day, like, I have nothing for my kids for Christmas. Dude.
That's the best thing possible.
Bolt Sports. Check them out. Instagram. boltsports.ca.
Do you want them to like play video games?
Promo code Cam and Strick. And you know what? When you bundle more than one product together, you save even more money.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So,
check that out.
Check out Bolt Sports. All right, Illinois Recovery Center. Cam, you were out there the other day.
Yeah, I was out there Wednesday, and I talked to all the patients. Yeah, you know, it always makes me a little sad. It does, you know, especially during the holidays.
Holiday time.
I just see like so many different people. Like there's a guy that's like 60 years old there, successful, lives in Eureka, you know, and he just fucking had to do it. He had to just go there for 10 days or 20 days or whatever it is, whatever you need. And he's like, I just had to do it. I had to, my wife, my kids, we have so much good things going on, but I cannot get away from this and I needed help. And now he's going to go back for Christmas and he's going to be okay.
Oh, really? So he'll be able to go back for Christmas.
Yeah, I talked to everybody in there, dude. Mm-hmm. Everybody. I went from one sector of it to the next, And so the one sector is girls have been in there for 30 days or 20 days. So they look fresh. You could see their eyes. You could see that, like, you could see them as a human. Then the next sector is like they've been there for 7 days. You're like, okay, they got work to do. They're still going through the tough times a little bit. Then I went in through the area where you go through your withdrawals and all that stuff. And then these guys are just getting out of the hardcore. And I'm like, man, you got a couple weeks and you're going to be okay. And you're going to go see your family and they're going to be like, there you are. I see you again. There you are. Where have you been? Because last time your mom and dad saw you, your eyes are fucked up. You're like this, you're down, you're jonesing, you're doing whatever. Now you look normal. That's you. That's you. That's the best goddamn present you could possibly give to your family. They get it. There's older women in there. There's younger girls. There's this, there's that. There's a little bit of everything. Don't think that you're like, I can't. I'm not doing that. There's wealthy people. There's poor people. There's this, there's that. It affects everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Illinois Recovery Center.
Love all you guys, man.
Reach out to me if you want to reach out. Get connected to anybody, Chrissy or Eric.
My boy Jacob, by the way. Love you, dude. Don't even give him that much credit. Like, he's the one that's busting his ass there, too. My boy
What's up,
boy.
Jacob?
God dang right, man. Little shout out, man. I love you. And your mom listens to every one of our podcasts, too.
Really?
Give your mom a shout out. Love you, girl. What's up?
Mama Jakey.
You should be proud of your son. You should be proud of your son. Just so you know. God dang. Let's go.
Let's go.
You know.
All right, Bench Clearers, man. We've got some new videos out there on the Bench Clearers Facebook. You can see Cam's, you can see mine. We did some different things, and they had their Black Friday special still going on right now. They've got these blankets, Cam, that are just so comfortable.
I want one.
I'll get you one.
I have one for you.
I have one for you.
Yeah, come on.
I was going to bring a bunch of stuff for you today.
It's cold right now.
Okay, well.
It's cold.
Maybe
my house is either hot or it's cold.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have heat and stuff like that?
No, I don't. I'm in the poor section of St. Albans.
Do you use your fireplace for heat?
Yeah, but you use your heat for heat.
Do you use wood or is it gas?
It's gas. And we have different little fireplaces.
My gas fireplace, I'm having an issue with it because I'm not seeing a whole lot of flames. It's just like
turn it up.
They have the rocks all turned, and it heats the whole house up. So it's amazing. Like it heats the house. It's like a heating source. But
it's a fire.
All the rocks and everything at the bottom are turning orange and everything.
And
there's a little flame. I need. Let's bring it up.
Turn it up. You gotta turn it up a little bit. And that doesn't heat your whole house.
Bench clears, man. Use the promo code Cam and Strick. Go there right now. Get one of these tanks. You can get hoodies. You can get windbreakers. You can get everything. You talk about hot. Listen, this is what we do. We do the Christmas shopping for you, dude. It's so easy because all y'all have hockey fans in your life that you need to buy presents for, or you're a hockey fan, and people are asking you, what do you want for Christmas? Well, this is what you want. Put one of these over a hoodie, get a windbreaker, get a hoodie, and get one of these tanks if you want one for the summer, dude. It's amazing, as a matter of fact.
Dang right.
Bench clears, baby. Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com. Cam, at Hat Launch, you get what?
Look at this right here.
Yeah, that's what you get.
It's a badass hat right here. We got some new Cam and Strick hats out there, too.
You like these?
And if you, yeah, I do. And if you have a, fantasy football team, you have, your kids playing gymnastics or baseball or what the hell, or hockey team, like get them a hat.
Get them a hat.
We have a bunch of guys that we know in St. Louis that bought some hats from them for their hockey team.
They did. You can
Eric Armstrong.
America's #1 source for custom hats.
Yeah.
So you can get all of that, dude.
And they'll hook you right up, and they do a damn good job.
So your team, your business, your company, whatever it is.
Hat Launch.
Order some hats. And they got shirt launch, too. And they're damn good people.
Really good people.
Which is the most important. And they turn around very quickly.
Real quick. Look at these bad boys.
My son's hockey team just ordered a bunch of hats because we're going to Toronto, and they wanted
some
of my Toronto hats.
Yes, you want to look good,
Yeah. I hear the traffic down there is just ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Like you can't drive around the city, basically.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Late to that.
Was it Utah?
Had to walk.
The players were walking
on a Sunday.
But a friend of mine was there like last April. He's like, dude, we were like an eighth of a mile away. It took us like an hour and a half.
When my first road trip this year with the boys, we were there. We pull in. We leave the airport in Toronto. It took us 2.5 hours. And you could see the whole highway, how it loops like.
And you're just sitting there.
I could see the fucking needle, and it's so far away, and we're like this.
And there's that many people that live there, or what?
Yeah, tons of people.
Do you know that like 90% of the entire Canada
is in Toronto, in Ontario?
Yeah,
Ontario just got shit on with like 122 centimeters of snow. Thinking of all you guys, love all you Windsor, all you people out there. Be safe, but you're used to it. It's all good.
Scott Jennings was at it again, by the way.
Oh, he's shit kicking everybody, dude.
Cam didn't know who he was a week ago.
No, I did. I just didn't know the name. I know. Right when you said, I saw his face. I'm like, oh yeah, he's pounding everybody on CNN.
Hat Launch, baby, go there today. Yep. All right, Sparks Hockey Cam. If you could think of one gift to give a hockey dad.
Oh, I had to get my skate sharpened at Centene.
Oh, good.
And so I went in there, cool cats. I talked to some people in there.
That's my guy, dude.
And they just threw it right on the Sparks machine. He's like, this is like the best thing ever. I was dominant. I'm 250 pounds.
How did you feel?
I felt good. I go, give me 3 each of this goddamn thing. And I'm like, turning like, I'm cutting into
How was the sharpening? No, how'd your skates feel?
I told you. I'm cutting down like,
dude.
I'm like cutting the ice.
Finally,
I'm scoring.
Finally, we get a good endorsement from Cam.
I could stop. I'm like, no, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it just makes it easier on everybody.
I know.
So if you were like...
How long did it take? Like
2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds.
I know.
He just put it on and goes, yoink. And he goes, yang, 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 yang. Done. Yoink. I'm like, fuck.
Sparks Hockey, use that promo code Cam and Strick. It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But hey, you might be able to add it onto their Cyber Monday specials and what's going on. And get one today, man. Honestly, if you've got players, it's so worth the investment. You'll spend more money getting your skates sharpened over the years than you'll make your money back in just a matter of
no doubt
months.
Let's stress.
Really.
Let's go.
Especially if you have multiple kids.
Yep. So
get a Sparks machine. SparksHockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. We've been telling you about Sparks for months and months and months. All right, Blue Note Roofing, Cam. And give Dave Novak a shout out.
Davey boy, what up?
Because they are grinding it out in this weather, man.
Oh, God, yeah. Yep. Doing all kinds of different things, man. It's nasty out there.
They don't take off, dude.
Roofers they got a tough gig.
Well, they do gutters. They do soffit.
They do all that stuff.
Winders.
They do all kinds of stuff. And right now, like windows, like if it's cold and your house is fucking cold and you have a little leak anywhere, like you'll know. That son of a bitch, you feel those windows, you're like, oh my God, no wonder our fucking
I know. Cold. I was reading the other day that if your roof is over a certain number of years old, insurance will no longer pay for it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So like check to see how old your roof is. Don't wait until it gets even worse. You have any issues, man, get that replaced now and let David do it and let your insurance take care of it.
He loves hockey, man. He's a cool cat. David Novak, I love you, buddy.
314-920-5713. He was at the game the other night. He's at every game.
Of course he is.
He's going to the Winter Classic, too.
Yep.
314-920-5713. I'm trying to get Cam to come to the Winter Classic.
Man, I'm on the road for a long time. Like a long time. And Kate's not happy. Okay.
Oh, she's not?
No. It's sad for her. A little bit. It's 10 days.
Dude, tell her to come over and have dinner with us.
That doesn't help. She wants me back.
Bring her in the studio.
I make her feel happy.
Maybe she'll come in the studio.
She wants me by her.
I know.
Okay. Like, you know.
You're not right now.
If I'm not with her, like we're both like we don't have much else.
I know. That's all you really have.
So
how was Thanksgiving with the family and everything?
No politics, nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, we got a couple little things. No big deal.
Uh-oh.
They're awesome.
Did you bring it up?
It just pops up.
Yeah.
Kate's family's cool shit.
I popped up.
I
said
cool.
something once too, and it just kind of.
How's your family doing? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you okay?
No.
Are they on therapy now? I know. And he's paying $4,000 a month from therapy because of Trump.
No, I'm not.
Don't do that.
Are you trying to imply that? I told you I'm nonpartisan.
Tell them to calm. No, it's not you. Tell them to calm down. It's okay. Everything's gonna be calm. Okay.
This was the year we were at my mom's house. And she's an amazing cook, Cam. But my kids were like, the turkey was not good.
Oh no.
They said it was a little dry. I think
she hasn't cooked in a while, dude.
She doesn't cook for these big.
Girl.
I know. I felt so bad.
It's okay.
My 75-year-old mother.
Fucking eat that anyway.
They did.
So yeah, tell them to shut the fuck up.
That's what I did.
And eat the fucking turkey.
Yeah.
All of it. And you know what? Tomorrow you're gonna eat more of it. And you're gonna have the stuffing, and you're gonna have this, and you're gonna have that, and you're gonna fucking.
And the green bean casserole. I made my famous mashed potatoes, by the way. My award-winning mashed potatoes. Listen, people ask about them.
I made mashed potatoes. I'm like, oh, cool.
I might make them for Christmas time too, but my kids were all like, "Please make your mashed potatoes," because my mom was like, "I'm gonna make mashed potatoes." I'm like, "No, I'll handle it." I made my award-winning mashed potatoes, secret recipe. I might be able to, willing to share a few things with. I'll bring you some when you get back. Too.
Mashed potatoes. He probably bought it at the store and just put a little butter in there and just whipped it up.
The potatoes. How come some people say potatoes?
I don't know. Who cares? Don't waste people's time. We've been going for 2 hours.
Or tomatoes.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or Missouri.
Yeah. You want to hear about my award-winning mashed potatoes? Hit me up, man.
I'm going to be cooking for Christmas.
See, I have a picture.
I'll let y'all know what I'm going to do. I'm fun to do. I'm not messing around.
Look.
I'm telling you, all y'all. Looks good. Boring ass shit. Mashed potatoes. Dude, you don't brag about that.
With a blender.
That's a side.
I do it with a blender.
It's like you just put.
Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks. Told you all that.
Say happy holidays to Danny boy.
Love all you guys, man.
Dale.
What up?
Kenny.
What'd I tell you?
Dale.
Danny boy. I'll say it. Danny boy. Love all you guys, man. You guys got a lot of good product. Check out them Buicks.
Dude, have you seen that new Dodge 1500?
Those are awesome.
Have you seen it?
Yes. They're awesome.
It's a pickup truck, dude.
If you're in a jam out here, they ain't getting stuck.
Boy. It might intimidate you if you.
You're the one rescuing people. And he's on the side. We're like, I don't know what to do. This fucking big old Dodge Ram's gonna show me. Get on in here.
1500.
That ain't that big,
dude.
25 hundo, boy.
You haven't. I know you haven't seen it.
They're badass.
Look it up, y'all. All y'all in Saskatchewan. By the way, dude. Jay Rosehill is our guest on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
Shit kicker.
We got to give him a shout out, man. Jay, listen, and Jay, obviously, I knew who he was when he played for the Leafs and whatever. Played for the Flyers, and he was fighting cats. And like, whenever you're a fighter, even if you're only in the league for like a year or two, you make a household name for yourself. No, like everybody knew who Stevie McIntyre was, all these other guys.
God, yeah.
You're fighting, like everyone knows who you are. It's like if a player comes up and is out of the league, like in a year and a half or 2 years later, no one knows. But when you're a fighter, we all know. And then I see Jay, man, he's popping up. He's got his podcast. He's doing his thing. He's well-spoken.
He's a fireman.
Gets his point across. He's a fireman, but he's opinionated. We like people who are opinionated.
He's so opinionated. I love it. But he's smart, dude.
Yeah.
He's not just like throwing bullshit out there. No. He'll go toe-to-toe with you. Debate him. He's a smart guy, man, and he's saving people and he's doing his thing. He's way up. Where's he at? Is he in Red Deer?
He's in between Red Deer and somewhere else.
Shit kicking. God almighty.
But
I should have him come down.
But Cam and I were like, dude, we got to.
I love his
takes. We gotta
take.
get him on, dude.
His takes are great.
And he covers like the Maple Leafs, even though he doesn't live in Toronto. But they have him doing like a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast.
So cool.
So everything he says basically kind of like gets a lot of attention because it's the Leafs. So anyway, check out this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast to enjoy the interview. It's a great conversation. Jay Rosehill, what's up, baby?
Yeah, baby.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. So you talk all that shit about Toronto from Alberta. I love it,
baby. Let's go.
I'm chilling in Alberta, so I'll say, I like that. I like that.
Hey, we recording, by the way.
Heat following who I follow out here.
We're at in Alberta. Where are you from?
Just in between Calgary and Red Deer, Olds, Alberta. It's under 10,000, but born and raised there, played junior there, and raising kids and living here now.
What's there? Like, what'd your mom and dad do?
You know what's there?
Shit kicking. Everybody's a fucking shit kicker.
A&W root beer. Isn't that
really?
there?
Oh yeah, it's there. It's there. No, my family's in the cattle business, so they're all auctioneers, run an auction company and cattle, machinery, that kind of shit. My brother's running it, but my grandpa started in '53, and I missed the boat on all that shit when I was gone playing hockey. So yeah, he's living that dream now.
Dude, I do auctions now, man. Seriously, around St. Louis, I get hired to do auctions and go to like these schools or whatever.
And they're not cattle auctions.
They ain't cattle auctions, but same thing. I got five. You get the room going, and I get everybody pumped up, and I call people out for being cheap. It's good. It's good.
I've gotten drunk and pretended to do it because my name is like it's been around forever. But my brother goes in competitions and shit, and like there's fillers and styles and way to do it. He's got all these buckles he's won and shit. Like it's kind of an art that it's pretty rare, really.
Is your brother a player?
He was. I played junior with him, and then he played Div 3 in Wisconsin for a couple of years and kind of shut her down. But yeah, he played all the way for sure.
I feel like there's another Rosehill floating around somewhere, and I just want to make sure that I wasn't like missing out on
hockey player.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't know, like his.
Oh yeah. I've been there before.
No, nothing like that. I've never heard anyone with my name before, and then when Facebook came along, I like looked it up, and there's a bunch of people in Hawaii with the name, but other than that, I've never heard of it before.
Who cares about them? Hey, your place, like, do you live on a ranch? Like, are you in a neighborhood? Like, where you at?
So I grew up on kind of a ranch. It's just horses and cattle, and it's kind of on the edge of town. And then there was 1/4 of land between the town and us, and then that's getting developed now. So I built a house in there. So I'm in town technically in a cul-de-sac with street hockey, and my kids they got the paths everywhere. They're building forts and shit. But they can run over to the farm and skidoo and dirt bike and fuck around. So it's best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, that's my kind of area right there. Get out there on the farm.
And he's a city boy.
That's why I'm here, man. That small town living, raising the kids, it's the best.
Good for you.
So how'd you get hooked up to like, you do a podcast, man. You guys do a great job. Anybody who gives opinions, we like. Well, we just like people who like give an opinion. Sometimes it's like, people think they're giving an opinion, but they're really not giving an opinion, and it's good to see you do that. So how'd that whole thing come about? Like, tell everybody who you do it with and the name of it and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so a company called the Nation Network. They got a bunch of outfits now. We just got Jeff Merrick, and he's going to do a show called The Sheet. DFO, Saravelli's on that. And then we started the Leafs Nation. Oilers Nation's big. That's where it started. But they just kind of came up and said, well, really, they asked Luke Shen, who I'm a buddy with. They're like, do you know anyone that could do some NHL media and stuff that could talk a little bit? And he's like, ask Rosey. And it was Saravelli kind of doing the recruiting. And I knew Frank from my time in Philly. So he reached out to me, and I was at the time in my life where I want a side gig. I want something to put some energy into. I'm going a little bit crazy, want to do something. But I'm not sure what the hell that was. And boom, Saravelli just texted me and I say, yeah, I'd be into that. And 2 weeks later, I was live with a brand new podcast on the Maple Leafs. So it happened quick, but it filled the void really good. I'm enjoying it.
Did you know the guys you work with prior to or no?
No, I don't. So Nick Alberga, he's been with Sportsnet and stuff. I'd heard of him, recognized him, but didn't know him very well. But he's good, organized, knows his shit. He's been in the business a while, knows how to like kind of set everything up that I don't, kind of might be the same with you guys, but I'm not like the tech, understanding all the different flows of segments and setting up the shows and shit. Like I'll just let me watch the game, see what's going on, and then sit down and talk. And he handles everything else and gets all the guests and stuff. We've had a really good guest lineup, so it works pretty good so far. He's good at what he does.
So is that all you do? Like, what's your main job? You said that's a side gig.
Yeah, so I'm a firefighter, like a career firefighter, and been doing that 6 years now. When I retired, I stepped right into it. It just kind of worked out, and we do 24-hour shifts. So, to work 48 hours, you only go in twice. So I'm kind of got these other days where, I need to put my energy into something, and this came along, so it worked out good.
Wow, I saw that. They used to get guys to go to locker rooms and get people into firefighting.
Oh, really?
At a young age. Yeah.
We've talked to a few others who have gotten into that. Was Stevie McIntyre a fireman?
God dang right. Yeah. Big Stevie Mac. All the shit kickers.
Yeah, okay.
So, but like, that's hardcore. So people like tell people what about firefighting that maybe they don't know. Like, you guys got to go up to every scene, meaning if somebody gets in a car accident or they hit a deer on the highway and shit's everywhere or whatever, you guys are there first with all this stuff. Like, it's hardcore.
Their pipes burst in Alberta when they're trying to build an outdoor rink.
You're Superman.
Especially when they open a window right by the pipe, she'll burst on you every time. But no, the firefighting, it's what happened was when I was playing with the Leafs, we did like a team building thing in Northern Ontario in Trenton, and we went to the airport fire station and we had lunch with them, and we're all chirping and shooting the shit, and they're all ripping on each other and having the laughs, and they cook up this meal. Then we go out and they put us into like this fake fuselage, and they're throwing fire at us and everything, pulling these dummies out. Then we get into some of their big rigs and shooting the cannons of water. Then we get on the tools and rip this car apart and tear it up. I'm like, is this your guys' job? Like, I'm kind of always thinking about the future, and I'm like, well, I'm not playing hockey forever. And that's what planted the seed. And now that I do it, it's, the fire hall is a locker room atmosphere. Yeah. You're chirping, you're playing pranks, you're laughing, you're cooking up together. And it's just wicked being at work. And it's just this routine that you have that's always kind of the same that I like. And then it's interrupted. You have no idea when by the calls. And then you go to the calls, and I don't get my blood flowing too much anymore. The adrenaline doesn't spike. You're not playing hockey. You're not fighting at center ice at Madison Square Garden. Like, you can't replace that stuff. But when shit hits the fan, and there's a car wreck, or some guy tried to do something crazy, or, there is a house fire, and it's just people's worst day of their life, and you're first there, and you got to figure out what to do and how to help. I mean, you just your adrenaline gets spiked, and you're doing something good, and it filled that void for me, and I've liked every second of it.
Have you had to go right into a goddamn burning house, and you see a little girl in the back? She's like, help, help. And you come rolling out like Backdraft back in the day. Your hair's slicked back. You just saved the baby. No one caught that on film.
You watch Backdraft to find out what not to do, man. Exactly. Everything's fucking wrong. Yeah. Those guys are just cowboys. But, you're not. I've been in a burning building plenty of times. I've pulled bodies out before. They weren't alive anymore. But a couple of shifts ago, my captain pulled a dog, a cat, and a snake out of a terrarium, and he thought it was a little python. And when he gets it all the way out, it's got a rattler on the end of it. And we're all like, fuck!
Throw it back
like,
in.
Oh, what do I do now? And so you never know what you're going to get, but you're going to see some shit. You're going to have to get in there. You're always going to be caught by surprise, but they train you up really good. And the guys I work with are just really good at their job, and you just follow their lead.
Yeah, see, that's what you do, man. You save the animals, the cats that are in the top of the tree, all of that.
Everything.
They probably put you on like a calendar too. He's like Mr. like
with no shirt
November.
Dude, we had that. It was a huge seller. Girls and guys always got in for it. It was a hot seller, but they went woke or something and said it's not appropriate. And this is the first year they're not doing it. So.
It'll do well after that.
Well, somebody was offended.
Somebody got offended. Do you need like good-looking women? Like I had the fire department come to the house to get a check on something, but she really just wants you there.
We need the fire department.
Well, we want that one guy.
Can we have
the Rosehill cat?
Hi, is Jay working? Fire!
My cat, the tree.
That's me. It's like 29-year-old female having chest pain, and I'm like, here we go, boys. And then it's like not what you had in mind when you get there quite often.
How big's the town again? 10,000? Is that where you're living now or no?
I'm in Olds. Yeah, it's under 10,000, but I work in the city, and like I try not. I don't know, doing this media stuff. I'm always afraid like I'm gonna cross line and say something dumb or bad, and if I have said where it's a big city outfit with an HR department, I'm always kind of hesitant of doing this job, and then that if there's overlap and I say something dumb, I kind of tread lightly.
Yeah, but you guys talk hockey though. Like you're gonna call out Darnell Nurse because he's like, oh, Reaver, like that. Like they're gonna get mad about that. I mean, you guys get into politics or anything? That's what's gonna jam you up.
Well, no, when I got into this thing, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm not going to pull any punches. I hate this, tiptoe, straddle the fence, woke bullshit. Can't say what you really think. Can't say what everyone's thinking. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I guess that's where it planted. I'm like, I might go off. I might go overboard one time and who knows, but it hasn't, when you're talking hockey, you can only go so far. But I think if Biz can get away with what he's gotten away with, I should be just fine.
Well, he's beating guys. He's beating guys up in fucking Scottsdale right now.
Oh my god!
What a weird situation. You see that?
Yeah, so weird. I don't get how. My question is, in that bar that's full, and Biz goes to like de-escalate the situation. How does he end up outside getting rolled by 6 guys? Like, was there any men in the goddamn bar? Did everyone just watch as this guy tried to help and get steamrolled in the parking lot by 6 guys?
And let me say this, like usually at a restaurant, like there's some shit kickers in the kitchen too. You know what I'm saying? That are coming out to help the manager.
The kitchen guys.
They'd be like, dude, like Adam's getting attacked out there.
Do you see the picture of those pussies too?
Oh,
like
didn't. You saw a picture?
I just saw it. I'm like, fuck. Love to bag up every single one of them. But it's weird though, and that maybe is. Listen,
we need the video.
Well, that will come, and we love Biz, but like that could be today's society. The mentality is, how about that cat, the Marine that choked the one dude out who's threatening everybody on the subway? Fuck, he's gonna go to fucking jail. So people now are hesitant to save lives and protect people because they're the ones that are going to get dinged up. Exactly. And Biz might get a lawsuit against him because he might have caught somebody.
Yeah, he'd be an easy target, right? I mean, I'm sure he knows, being who he's been for so long, when you're out and about, he's no stranger mixing it up and mingling around. You're not getting in scraps. You're not throwing punches at anyone. He's an easy target. So I could see that happening too. But in my mind, that's pretty horseshit. You go in there and you help a guy and grab a couple and try not to turn into a melee. But it sounds like Biz did his best for that. But those guys had other ideas.
Everybody's still, all the men in there are like, what's going on here? Like, get up and help him.
Someone help us. Someone help us.
Can I get some more rolls over here?
It's just a reminder. Like, it's different now.
Although it's CVS got a plug out of it because I think the fight rolled into like the CVS party.
Yeah,
I want video of that so bad.
And really, Houston, really is that the name of the restaurant? Houston.
Yeah,
Houston's getting some plug.
Have you ever gotten to a bar fight? Like, were you fighting guys in high school? Were you like aggressive?
I wasn't, I mean, I've been in a few. Usually, my buddies or brother have started it and been in a few, but like, so I did 1 year at Minnesota Duluth at UMD in NCAA, and there's this girl, she's a tennis player, and I had my eye on her for a while, asked her out for a date, so we go to this date. I'm not old enough to get in the bar, so I sneak in type of thing, and this football player just kind of was trying to get to the bar and just bowled her over, stomped on her foot kind of thing, and like hurt her. And I was like, hey, dude, like you just trampled this girl. And he's like, and I'm like, well, I thought maybe you'd apologize or that you'd say something to the young girl about it. And he's like, do you know who I am? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, forget it. And I stop and I'm at a high top bar and I'm looking at her and I can see in my peripheral, he's still there. And he's just standing. I'm like, what is this guy going to do? And then all of a sudden, I'm off my stool, just get clocked. And as I'm falling, I plant my right leg on the ground and leap back, and I black out. And this guy ends up just Bambi arms and completely out. And the boys yank me off. So they yanked my shirt off. So I'm just my flip flops are gone. My shirt's gone. I'm just in a pair of shorts. And my captain goes, Rosey, get the hell out of here. Cause I'm not 21. Right. And so I just book it and the cops are chasing me and I get arrested and the ambulance comes and peels this guy off the floor and all this shit happened. And I was like, how did that happen so fast? And everything ended up fine. But at the end of the day, I was like, man, that shit can happen fast. Stay out of it. And when I'm drinking and stuff, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky. I'm usually de-escalating the situation. But growing up where I grew up, you get rowdy and have too much fun, you're going to get into a couple of things.
Don't wear sandals.
I was wondering,
Don't wear sandals.
Minnesota Duluth, they probably still have some badass football players. It's not like messing with like an Alabama offensive lineman who's like 6'7", 330, but I'm sure he's still a big boy, right?
He still could be big and just not talented.
There is that animosity.
D1 football, yeah.
Because the hockey team is the only D1 and everything else is D3, or 2 or 3, I think. So we were kind of always overshadowing them. And when we mix, sometimes things happen. Most of them were cool, but this guy was like an old, like he'd graduated already and he was just hanging around, obviously just a loser. But no, I got my intro to that kind of thing kind of early, but tried to stay out of it growing up.
Did she hang out with you the rest of the night?
Yeah, she was impressed actually.
Right, I'm just asking.
Hey, how'd you end up at Duluth though? And like, were they good back then? Like they had Tim Stapleton. I'm looking at some of the names on your on the roster you played with, because Duluth, I mean, they became an absolute powerhouse. Even though Brett Hull was there before you, but then they started winning a bunch of national championships recently.
Yeah, like they had like right before I got there, Junior Lassard won the Hobie Baker. They went to the Frozen Four. They should have won it. They blew a lead against Denver, but were probably the best team in the Frozen Four. So then when I got there my freshman year, they hardly lost anybody, and their junior group all moved up to seniors. There was 12 of them, and the 4 of us that came in as freshmen, we were all drafted and capable, and we were ranked number 1 in the nation right out of the bat. But that group of now seniors were wild, men, and parties and boozing, and everyone just like underachieved. I remember Scott Sandelin, who's still there and won all those national championships. We were in North Dakota and he was chucking tables and Gatorade jugs because we were blowing the season. And we did. We lost in the first round and the whole season was kind of a flop. And looking back, I'm like, holy, I should have probably been a part of something special there. But I was just naive, didn't really know what was going on. But that team kind of blew it from there. And I signed with Tampa and left after my first year. So,
I mean, you played a long time. You've been through so many different teams and organizations and whatever. So you meet a lot of people. And I've heard a lot of good things about you, man. Rod Pelly loves you, dude. He said if we were teammates, we'd be hanging out all the time.
Oh, but he's awesome.
Do you ever want to coach? Anybody ask you to coach?
No, no one's asked me to coach, but I coach my kids now, and they're in, like my oldest is in Adam now, like U13 we call it, or no, Pee Wee. So Pee Wee. So they're starting to play hockey, and now that I'm seeing them like put things together and like apply breakouts and play as a team and play real hockey, I'm like, fuck, this is pretty cool. But I've always kind of wondered, like, I'm not a big X's and O's guy. I don't want to like go through all the video and shit. I guess you got to these days, but I would like to be an assistant coach with something and just see if I can like, you know, work with the individual players on where your head's at and get some special attention to guys to try to get the most out of everyone. See if you can fire them up, get them playing as a unit. I think that would be cool. But again, I'm kind of tied to what I'm doing here. And I have no fucking interest in packing my bag and my whole life up twice a year and traveling around and getting fired and having a 1-year contract. Like a sayonara to that shit. That was my favorite thing about retiring, is not having to pack up and live out of a suitcase your whole life.
I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
I get that.
Hey, so when you're calling out the Leafs and you're just like, this guy, and like they lose to the Canadians, is somebody, are you hearing from anybody with the organization? Or they just, it's so loud there anyway, and there's so much media that you can just kind of, like, they don't mess with you.
Yeah, well, there's such a tight, like they like to have control of everything, right? And they've got a lot of prestige behind them. They're a classy organization, historic, so they like to kind of keep their image the way they want it, and I get that. But you know, when we're saying what we want to say, when we get guys on, like they try not to let guys on the show, like it all has to go through the PR guy. But we'll find a guy that just signed or a guy that hasn't got to town yet and get him on, and that's how we work it. The alumni is pretty tight with their time. And we know they don't love us, but you know, we've kind of had a relationship this summer where we want to work together. So they've got some like press credentials and they've given us a couple guys. And, you know, the whole point of doing this is not to be married to a corporation where you have to toe the line. I want to say what I want to say. I want to be honest because I think I'm fair about it. I'm not a homer, and I don't rip them apart for no reason. I'm just, whatever I see, I say, and I want to kind of stick to that. And I think that's what's cool about this media and this internet podcast stuff, is you're able to do that now, where you look at the guys on Sportsnet and stuff. It's like, are you kidding me? Like they're doing the whole HR thing, and you can't say what you mean. And it's kind of, you're handcuffed. I don't really want to be that guy.
Well, are you talking about, Sportsnet, but are you talking about more like Hockey Night in Canada? Because TNT's kind of cool. TNT does his thing.
I'm new to Twitter, and like people, I just didn't realize how much people don't like the broadcast and rip all the woke shit and like the intermissions. Everyone's turn it off, and CBC is brutal for it too. And I just don't think that's what hockey fans want. But these big corporations think that's what they have to do, and it waters it down. Where I like this situation, I can kind of say whatever I want within reason and be honest. And if you like it, great, and if you don't, it's not for you. That's fine. But I think that people gravitate towards people being honest.
Of course they do.
Yeah,
Podcasts
for sure.
rule the world.
And listen, people are seeing through a lot of that mainstream media
Obviously.
stuff that you see, and this is the future of the media anyway. And I don't know why anybody with a platform wouldn't want to go in this direction to begin with. I mean, you just basically work. I mean, I don't know if you have to answer to anybody over there with the Nation Network. If you have like a boss,
Oh
but
yeah.
we don't like have to. It's kind of nice being able to do your own thing, you know. And we don't cross that line, you know. We're smart in terms of sometimes
we gotta
we
work
will.
with the guys too, like with the Blues at least. But we don't even just talk Blues.
No,
you know?
hardly.
We talk
Actually,
No,
we
I
try
don't-
not to a lot.
Everything.
I've heard you guys. You guys are genuine and honest and authentic, and that's why you're having success. But like, yeah, I have a boss, but he came from the grassroots of starting an Oilers podcast from the ground floor, and they've built into this company that's been bought twice, and has freedom to do what they want, and they leave us alone. And I've never been reprimanded or said this is too heavy. It's just they let you be you, and they're not trying to control you or spin a narrative or appease a sponsor or anything like that. It's this is what people want. Go do it.
And plus, you could be like, "Bitch, I just saved a fucking kitty cat, motherfucker." Okay,
I'm saving lives.
I'm saving
out
goddamn
here.
lives. Get on with
Yeah.
yourself.
Hey, did you like playing in Toronto? Like, you had a good experience playing for the Leafs?
Yeah, I was fucking wicked. Like, I was young looking back, like my time in Philly, I was a little bit more mature and kind of confident in myself, I guess. And it was just like every time you turn around, it's a new experience. Like making the team out of training camp is just kind of a whirlwind of experiences. But there's just, I don't know. There's nothing like it. It's just such a, whether you like it or not, that organization is just, it's big, and it's got the biggest city in Canada, and it's got the biggest, the Leafs nation is the biggest market that follows that team, and they've been unsuccessful for so long, but they have all that history, and the following is just out of control. And when you're driving to a game on Saturday night and you're coming in down the Gardiner and you can see that fucking tower and that huge city, and the lights are going back and forth on top of the, Scotiabank Arena, and everyone's just fired up with their Leafs jersey on, going to the bars and getting ready. It's just like, holy fuck, this is huge. And all the little side things you get with being on the Maple Leafs, invited to this and that, and come do this, and just all this side stuff that's like, you're almost like a celebrity, and we're all just like small town boys going, what the hell am I doing? And, I was fairly young. So looking back, it was just a wicked, wicked experience, like first class all the way. And then go to Philly too. And like that's unbelievable as well. But I just feel like the Leafs and you call me a homer, and people groan and love to hate on the Leafs, and that's fine. But there's something special about the organization.
Yeah, listen, can you give us an idea? Because we bring on a lot of former Leafs, and a lot of them are superstars, all-stars, Hall of Famers, whatever. And you always hear about players that play there. Hey, the fourth line guy's getting the car deal. They're getting paid for the autograph signings and all that stuff. So for a guy like yourself, like in Toronto as a player, like give people an idea of what comes with being a player there when you're not a, future Hall of Famer or a superstar player.
Yeah, like other markets, I think it's tough. Like for a guy like me, they talk about the pressure that are on the players and stuff. I'm a fourth line guy. I don't have the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I see it in the other guys. Like I see when we walk into the practice rink and we've just lost 2 in a row, it's fucking walking on eggshells, tons of pressure. No one's happy. The media is just, you can just see them out there just clamoring to get in and just hammer away, and you can't even get to your stall. There's so many fucking cameras and mics and people and all the people you recognize from TV, and it just builds on those superstars, and it's tough. But right away I'm like, oh, you're giving me like an equipment deal and a stick deal, and it comes with this much money and this, side merchandise stuff. And they want me to come to open up this new store, and they're going to give me all this money and tell me just to go shopping in it. And you go to the TIFF festival and they want you to come to the premiere and do a Q&A with Stifler and fucking Liv Schreiber. And you're like, what is going on, man? Like, it's just a different world. But because you're on the Leafs, they just, everyone wants you. It's wild.
Was the Biebs around when you were there?
He
I
came
feel
and
bad for him
skated.
now, just so you know. With all
What's that?
I kind of feel for him a little bit with the Diddy stuff coming out, and I'm like, you kind of connected to. You're like, whoa,
Yeah,
that poor kid,
100%. Like, to get found out of nothing on YouTube and be a star as young as he was. He came into the room and passed it around with us, and it was kind of funny. He's like grabbed any old stick off the rack. I think it was Castle's, and like chucks it to the trainer and is like, cut this down to here for me. And then he throws his skates. He's like, and warm these up in the oven. And we're like, whoa, dude, he's got that dickhead haircut they had for so long, like in your bangs in your face. And he's always caught in a mirror, when you walk around. He's always caught fixing his hair. I'm like, oh, this poor kid. And then he started doing a bunch of dumb shit when he's teenager, whatever. And I was always like, man, don't judge the kid because you don't know what it's like to be him, man. His life's an absolute, like, unique to him, and crazy that he's not got some weird stuff going on. And now that he's like an adult, I think it's like, see, he realizes now he's a good guy. He's a nice Canadian boy. He gets it. He was just thrown into who knows what, dude. I can't imagine that kid's life.
Yeah, he literally like spending a night with Diddy at 15 years old. His parents are like, go ahead. Like, what the fuck did he see? Did he give him a fucking $200,000 car? Like, there you go. Weird.
Yeah, for what? For what, man? Yeah, exactly. I don't envy the kid's life, man. I don't envy that type of stardom at all.
But I think he's cool now, and everybody says that, so I'm glad to hear
it. Yeah, he's friends with a lot of the guys. But so, like, what do you think, like Austin Matthews, for example? I love how, like, when he has an injury, like, he goes to Germany to get it checked out. You know what I'm saying? And it's smart, man. That's a smart thing to do. But, like, you know, most players around the league are like, they maybe go to Vail or something like that. But this guy's, you know, and a lot of athletes do that, dude. So I don't blame him for that. But what kind of pressure you think he's under? Like, on a daily basis, he handles it pretty well. Tavares, the captain, before he got it taken away. Marner, all these guys. It is a different level of pressure. How do you think these guys specifically have handled it? And what's your take on this version of the Leafs this year versus what we've seen the last couple?
Yeah, like I think they handle it pretty good. The tough thing with being in Toronto is you can't really be, off the cuff and aloof and show tons of personality because there's so much scrutiny and so many people in there, waiting to write their little column or blog that you want to give like the John Tavares interviews and give nothing and be so perfect and professional. Like I don't even listen to the interviews because they're so painfully boring, and you kind of got to be that way in that market, unfortunately. But they've mastered that to a degree. Like Willie can get away with having some personality. Marner said a couple things, like he's just not great with media, says stuff to like shoot himself in the foot all the time, and they rip him for it. But
oh my God.
He said we're light God, but he's talking about what I was talking about before. You walk downtown and like they just fucking roll out the red carpet everywhere for you, and they took that kind of out of context. Like it's like you shouldn't have said that word, but it's like when the Beatles said we're bigger than Jesus and they just got crucified for it. But that's like an example of saying something and just getting roasted. They're like, fuck it, I'm not going to say anything anymore. I'm not giving you guys anything.
Listen, I may be completely wrong here, and you guys can tell me if I am. But like if I was a player there, like you look at some of these guys that played for the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Yankees. I know Jeter was kind of like subdued, but like there's been loud players that have played there before. Dallas Cowboy football players, man, they know the spotlight's on them. They take advantage of it. They are personality. I think you can show personality. I feel like if you put John Tavares in any team in the league, he's not showing any personality in an interview. It's like you look at Connor McDavid, same type of thing. Like I hear he's got a fun personality behind the scenes, man, but you'd never know it, and he's the face of the game.
And that's hockey for you, right? I mean, you look at football and basketball and these guys that, they know that they're a brand. They want them to be a brand. And basketball is more of an individual sport. And so is football to a degree. But with these hockey players, they were raised a certain way to have manners, be self-deprecating, don't have an ego and be arrogant. And it's just kind of where they were from and how they were raised. And everyone's kind of the same in the hockey world. And no one really stands out as being this wild, charismatic person in the media. I think that'll start to change as these new generations come in that were raised with a Twitter account and, know how to do the online stuff and how to work it a little bit. And I think that'd be good for the game for sure. But like, I just don't think you'll ever get to the point where there's these wild, outlandish personalities like in basketball or football.
You know where it might change, Cam?
Where?
Is with the American kid. You see more American kids now that are high draft picks and coming in who are younger stars. And they grew up in this environment, watching SportsCenter, being fans of these athletes from these other sports, and seeing the endorsement deals they were getting.
But,
maybe those are the kids because Jack Hughes kind of has a little bit of that in him, even though I guess he was raised in Toronto.
Not like all those guys. But the sports are different. Hockey's a team sport. Football's got 5 different teams on one team. Basketball is what it is. Baseball's all over the fucking place. Half the guys don't speak English. They're in the other side of the building. Hockey's just a team sport. So if you do act out, but Paul Bissonnette was the first one to really do it.
Brett Hull had some personality,
Besides,
and if you put Brett Hull in Toronto or one of these markets, dude, he would be. I mean, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves with the material he'd give them.
Totally, yeah. There's some characters like Roenick and different players. Chelly was quite the character, but like Biz, for example, like I'm the same vintage as him, and we were trying to break into the league at the same time. And I was in Toronto, and it was training camp, and he was drafted by Pittsburgh. And my agent was good friends with I think the assistant general manager of the Phoenix Coyotes. And he was saying, "Hey, is Rosey going to make that team or not? We got ourselves in a jam. We need a guy. We need a tough guy. We need that guy. And we are getting the first one that goes on waivers. Is he going to make it? And, I don't know." So I got that information saying, well, if I get sent down, very, very reliably, has been said to me that I'll get picked up by Phoenix. I happen to make the team. And like a week later, Biz gets cut or sent on waivers from Pittsburgh. Boom, Phoenix picks him up. He goes to that market, and in Toronto, I probably should have done it a little bit more looking back now, but I stayed away from Twitter and all that stuff. I was like, forget that. I'm focusing on hockey. I don't want to be a distraction or give anyone a reason to say we don't want you. And Biz just went off with it, and it was new, and no one really knew that what it was, and no one stood outside of the lines the way Biz did. And I remember people saying, guys on the team going, that Bissonnette is tweeting himself right out of the fucking league. And you thought that's what he was doing. Like he was getting in trouble. But look at him now. Like he knew what he was doing. And if he didn't go, I always laugh because I'm like, what if I got sent down first? They picked me up. Biz doesn't go to Phoenix. Maybe he stays with Pittsburgh's organization. You're not doing all that shit he was doing in Phoenix back then. Maybe it would have been a whole different story. But you look at where he is now, and it's like, wow, he knew what he was doing. He was kind of a trailblazer.
Yeah,
100%.
Interesting you say that because Cam and I always talk about, man, he was more popular than the players when he was a broadcaster there. You know what I mean? And so when he was a player, he was doing it. They needed attention, any attention they could possibly get because they weren't getting any. But if he was in a different environment, it's probably a situation where it wouldn't be as easy for him to kind of get his name out there like that through Twitter, maybe.
Yeah, like if you're on the Leafs or you're on the Canadians, you're not doing that shit online. You can get away with it because, like you say, they want that attention. They want any reason to get eyeballs on the Phoenix Coyotes back then. And it didn't really matter. Like he pushed the limits pretty hard, and he got reprimanded or at least told, like, dude, you can't be doing that. Like that would be shut down so bloody fast if it was, one of the big old school historic organizations, but it flew with the Coyotes. And I think it helped them along the way into like big time.
You notice how he says wicked and bloody. You could tell he played in Europe.
He's the English guy.
Yeah, baby.
What?
Yes. You don't even know you're doing
that shit up over there.
You know bloody? Yeah, you did. You did.
That's a Canadian term.
Bloody?
It's English and Canadian. A lot of Canadians say bloody.
In Alberta?
That's bloody ridiculous. That's a bloody joke. Yeah, my dad said that. That's Alberta.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
asking. Originated out there, though. Probably originated out there.
Hey, it is funny, though. I was watching your highlights, dude. You got some fucking badass fights. You fought Lucic one time.
Yeah.
And I was listening to that announcer. I don't know if you heard this, Andy, but Jack Edwards goes, and Lucic is going crazy. And Lucic, and he goes, and that's what you get, you lifetime hatchet man. I'm like, that was gutless.
Lifetime
We've had him on, by the way.
Did
anybody ever piss you off like that, like reporters and stuff like that? And did you hear that?
Yeah, like I've seen that fight lots, and he says, 30-goal scorer against a career hatchet man, and I was like, easy, Jack. And then I scored a goal. It was a nice goal. It was like this weird little spin to beat Rask on the far side, like out of nowhere. And Jack just can't say it. He's like, are you kidding me? The last man on the planet you would ever think, and just ripping me the whole time. Like, so when Jack was at his last game last year, whatever, I was on Twitter fucking ripping him. And people were like, oh, because they wanted him to have his last game against the Leafs, but it wasn't their broadcast. And I was giving it to him. People were like, take it easy. I was like, fuck that. He didn't take it easy on me at all.
Hey, we were hard on him. I remember being really hard on him back in the day. Then we had him on the podcast. Yeah. You know how that can change your opinion. You start talking to somebody. We asked him everything, answered everything head on. And then you get to meet and get to know some people from Boston. and they're all
They
like,
love 'em.
dude, we love Jack
Love 'em.
Edwards. He, which for him and the people who pay him and sign his paycheck, that's all that really matters. The local people love him, and to see him kind of get sick is kind of, but like, dude, like he said some crazy shit like about Patty Maroon, like go eat another pizza, whatever.
He chirped everybody, dude. It is what it is.
I didn't realize at the time that he was sick. I just thought he was retiring. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't go too hard. But throughout that process, I was like, hey, it's all in good fun. He rips me, I rip him. It's what we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like he's a national broadcaster. He's for the Boston area.
Yeah.
So if you can be a homer, you can, like, people that want to listen to a guy that's on the same team as them. They don't want a neutral guy. So I don't blame him at all. But if you're going to put yourself out there and rip guys like that, don't be sad if you get it back a little bit.
But I've never heard a homer to that extent.
Oh,
like,
no.
There's never been anything like it. And to be honest with you, it probably wouldn't go over that well in a lot of markets. I don't think fans want to hear that much of a homer all the time. They want you to call it like you see it,
He's pretty good at the way he does it. Yeah, he's as homer as it gets, but I think they're pretty proud and brash in Boston, and they don't mind it, right? So yeah, he did well. Had a hell of a career being a complete homer, and they love him there, like you said. So by all accounts, he is a successful guy.
Yeah. So all your fights, like, I got to ask you, like, who got you? Who are you? Because you went toe to toe, dude, and you'll throw them lefts straight down the goddamn pipe. You did it against McGrattan or all of them. Like, who were you like, okay, maybe I got to kind of switch up a little bit because they're too fucking big and they're going to get me?
Well, there's big boys like Matt Karkner, I always thought was huge. McGrattan was huge. Eric Goddard just seemed to have like had a big boy, he was just big and strong. But there's this one scrap, and fucking the low light of my career, but it was in Tampa, who they drafted me, and I'm playing against them, and they had this demon that wasn't crazy well known. His name's Matt Walker, and he kind of quit the game.
I know Matty
really
well. Portland Winterhawk.
By all accounts, good guy. I think he's from like Beaver Lodge, Alberta or something. And my buddy who was on the team said, this Walker can chuck him undercover. His right hand is so heavy, and he doesn't fight that often. But if he does, he's legit. So I kind of knew that. Whatever. We end up scrapping, and I just had this. I went to switch to left. He just cocked back. He watched my shit, knew what I was going to do. He had this right loaded, and I did this sloppy, slow switch. And as I'm switching, I open myself up, and he comes around and he hits me in the temple where that helmet piece comes down. It hit me right there, and all of a sudden I was on the ground, and I like popped back up going, what the fuck happened? Like, and he put me right on my ass. And if that didn't hit my helmet, if it hit my cheek or my jaw or something, I don't even want to know what would have happened. I've never been hit that hard. And it's kind of the only time I've been like blacked out and completely embarrassed after a fight. And that was like the low light. And I was like, man, my buddy was right. He has a right hand from fucking like way back. And he caught me by surprise. Total low light. But I don't know, in the minors and shit too, there's all these guys that, are smaller and like they just don't get a shot in the show because maybe they don't skate well enough or whatever. Tough as absolute nails. You got your hands full every night. They're maniacs, and you can't hurt them, and they don't quit. And there's so many guys throughout, the course of a career doing that shit in the minors that guys don't even know their names, but they're such a handful when you end up scrapping them. As you know,
and you're right, man. Matt Walker,
good dude too, by the way.
Really good guy. Yeah, he and Barrett Jackman were best of friends when he was here, and he would fight like pretty often, and he came in with that reputation. But he was trying to establish himself as a defender too, as a guy who could, you can be counted on to play defense. Totally. And he got a nice contract actually in Tampa. I think coming out of Tampa, played well in the playoffs and made a little bit of coin. Did you ever have a suspension in the NHL or just the American League, and then your 5-game suspension in the English League, where they said you pushed the ref and threw your stick?
I
saw that video in the bloody English League. The BHL.
I wish I could scrub that one from the internet, but you have no idea how bad the reffing is over there. Like, it is a constant battle. It was fucking incredible. Like, the refs would just want to be part of the game, and it would be 4 minutes left, and we've got a 1-goal lead. And a guy gives a little hook, and he puts his arm up and goes, 4 minutes, high sticking. And then he's just fuck yeah. How are you going to deal with that? And then he's waiting to see them score. It was insane. And and they were kind of picking on me because I was playing old school. They let him hit. It was back 10 years in that league, right? So you just crush guys. And yeah, I lost it on there, and I was kind of dealing with like the end of my career and what are my goals and why am I doing this and am I really done and am I going to retire after this year and all that shit. So I was kind of a snap show, but I didn't get suspended in the NHL. I ran around a lot, but I didn't really catch anyone too dirty. It just didn't happen to, and I never snapped. I was always like hyper aware of like the NHL. I had it on this pedestal. I was like, I'm not gonging it up in the National League. Like I want to stay here and establish something. So, but in the minors, you get a little crazy. Like I'd fight and warm up, like flat out toe to toe in warm up, got suspended, and you run around, have some big hits and shit, and get in some of that. But yeah, I was pretty clean in the NHL, thankfully.
Did you, at the end of your career, like for me, I was like, oh God, it's coming to an end. I'm looking at my bank account like, oh, Jesus, oh, God, what am I going to do? I don't have an education. You did. Like, were you worried? Were you like, what am I going to do? Were you like, fucking firefighter? Did you save enough money? Were you smart with that?
Yeah, I was always, I don't know, my parents just kind of like, I remember getting my first, a signing bonus check, and it was a lot less than I thought. And my dad was like, yeah, get used to it, buddy. That's taxes and all this shit comes off. And I'm like, well, when am I going to get another one of these? So I was kind of paranoid of like running out, and, I invested everything I could. I never bought a new vehicle. I had rental houses and was trying to be smart with it because I knew I wasn't going to play in the league for 18 years, making 4 or 5 million a year. I just knew that wasn't it. So I was like, if I'm going to make hay while the sun shines here, make as much as I can, but I want to, I played with guys who are, brand new Land Rovers and Gucci, everything and all this shit. I'm like, dude, you're not making 10 million. You're making 700 grand. You could blow that, just so you know, with agent fees and bucking around with all the stuff that comes off the top. And they're probably broke now. And I just couldn't be that guy. So, I had the right mind of thinking about the future. Like I said, I knew that I wasn't going to do this forever. So, tried to take care of it as much as I could.
That's why you should work for a team and tell these kids, because you don't have to be crazy buying. You could get jammed up. You could make a couple stupid plays. You can get addicted to this. You could get that. I remember being in training camp and the guys in the Devils when I was a kid, and these Russian kids that just signed that were like second rounders showed up in fucking, Range Rovers nicer than Marty Berdore's, and all the guys noticed that.
Louis Vuitton
Lou Lamoriello noticed that, and they're like, what? What do you? Oh yeah, glitter everywhere, all of their shit. Yeah, you're gonna spend that money.
Yeah, it's funny, and I think they're better now. But I have thought about doing that, like being kind of like a prospect service or player developmental type of guy with an organization, and just be like, because I'm unique in the fact that I've kind of done it all. Like I'm not this first rounder that stepped right into the NHL. Like I was a defenseman playing tier 2 hockey. Then despite the way I played, I went and played NCAA. Then I grinded in the minors for a long time. Then I switched to forward. Then I played in the NHL, but I was an up and down guy. Then I got a one-way. Then I was full-time, and then I went to Europe, and I've kind of experienced everything, so I could relate to a lot of different scenarios, and I feel like I could, maybe help a team. I think like that would be better than actual X's and O's coaching for me personally.
Yeah, and listen, hockey's so expensive nowadays that hockey players, man, and then you talk about the difference between other sports, whatever. It's not like the first time they ever had money in their life is when they got to the NHL. You know what I mean? Right. So a lot of these guys, they grow up with it. They know how to handle their money.
Well, now they do. Not the guys where he's from.
You see kids that are playing junior, like in custom suits, walking into the into the rink. So hockey's
the pretty boys out east.
Hockey's so expensive nowadays that you gotta, like, some people are like, well, how come this guy's not coming out of college? Like he's not signing. It's like there's not as much urgency when you're not you don't have to get your mom out of the projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And you, like you say, more than ever, it's so expensive to play hockey. Like I think Witt tweeted like $400 stick. He had no idea, but the things have changed. It is very expensive. It's very unfortunate that some, if you don't come from a decent amount of money, you probably can't play a high level of hockey, which is brutal. But that being said, the guys that do make it probably have parents who have had money or have jobs and have heads on their shoulders and teach them a little bit. So there's probably less of that than, like you say, a kid that's just ridiculously good at basketball doesn't need to have a wealthy family to make it.
How was Chief when you played in Philly? Like, was he good to you?
He was he didn't play me at all. I played like 35 games. I was there all year long. So I wanted to play more than that. And when I got traded there and I signed a 2-year one-way and had some security for the first time, and Peter Laviolette was there. My exit meeting, he's like, Rosey, I love you in the lineup. Our stars love you in the lineup. I'm going to play every day. You're not going to do what you did in Toronto and play 2 games, sit 3, play 1, sit 4, play 2, sit 5. Like, he's like, that's bullshit. It's impossible to do that. You'll play every night. I can't guarantee you're going to get 10 minutes every night by any stretch, but here's the deal. And I was just like, finally, this is finally a chance I can take another step. But Ed Snyder he was the owner of the Flyers. He was sick. He had no patience. He won another cup before, the end of his life, and he was in his 80s. And he just pulled the pin on Laviolette after 3 games the next year. It was the second fastest firing in all of history. And I'm like, fuck, Lavi's my guy. I finally have a guy in my corner after battling against these coaches my whole career, trying to get somewhere. I got one guy who's in my corner, and he was gone. So Chief came in. I was like, fuck, well, at least it's Berube. He's got to like me. But I liked him as a coach. I like him as a person. I wish he played me a little bit more is all. But he's doing special things in Toronto by just being who he is. Everyone's like, is he a grouchy, mean guy? Not at all. He's hilarious, actually. He loves shooting the shit and laughing and joking around. But he's just no bullshit. There's no smoke. There's no mirrors. He's all about, this is just the rational answer. This is why this is happening. Either you're doing well or you're not, or we need to make some adjustments. If you're completely out to lunch for 3 shifts in a row, he's going to fucking let you have it and try to snap you out of that. But he's not like an intimidation guy. He's not a mind games guy. None of that shit. And I totally respect the way he coaches.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the 4 nations, Turney? Or are you like, I want to see some Russian cats in that mug?
Yeah, I think it's killing it that the Russians aren't in there, man. I mean,
100%.
let's get some. This isn't a hold hands and let's all test our talents. Let's get some fucking heat going, and like all the more reason for them to be in there is because there's shit going on culturally. Like, why do you think the 72 Summit Series was so goddamn fucking intense? My dad is glued to that. If they have a replay, he goes, "You don't know what this meant. You don't know what this meant." And like, well, fuck, we could have against these Russian guys and just have a war, Canada, Russia, or the United States, Russia, or whoever, but no, they can't play because I think it's a mistake, man. Get them in there and get the hate going if you want.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why the USA Canada or USA Russia game from 1980 is the most famous hockey game ever out of this country, and that wasn't even the gold medal game, right? It wasn't even the gold medal game. So put Russia in there. It's like they're like, it's best on best. I'm like, except for but a bunch of superstars that the league is marketing, including Alexander Ovechkin, man. I'd love to see Russia in there 100%.
And it's the NHL tournament too. Like, those are the players that you're paying. They all pay taxes in the U.S.
It's NHL rules, NHL venues. It's an NHL sanctioned.
You can't have them play. Like, most of them, they're taking care. I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me.
And you're punishing yourself. It hurts the league and hurts the event by not having the best on best in there. And you're punishing these players who they don't have anything to do with that. Like, why can't they play? I just don't like when politics come into hockey at all.
I know, but they're good enough to come in and play in the NHL, though.
Exactly.
I don't know. Hey, what's your take? You mentioned Peter Laviolette, how he was with you. I'm curious if you think he's the same way with this Matt Rempe or not in New York, and just what your take is on Rempe. He's running around last night, but he's not getting in a ton of flow because he's in the lineup, out of the lineup. He's down in the minors. He's back up. I'm just curious how you see his future as an NHL player.
Yeah, well, I mean, so what he did last year was what was that, 17 games he only played or something like that? But he made so much bloody noise in that time. He just exploded. And I was doing a pod for hockeyfights.com, and he just filled our content because there's so much going on. And I respect the fact that he's not scared to go out there and do that, but to be that big and be able to skate in this day's NHL and keep up and be somewhat effective, you could argue whether he deserves a spot in the lineup or whatever. And his job is to try to figure out how to stay in that league, be effective, no turnovers, get the puck deep, forecheck, get ozone time, crash, be effective and be able to play 10 minutes a night, but not taking penalties every night, not getting suspended. And if anyone needs to get run over, you can do it. If anyone needs to answer the bell, obviously you can do it. If you need to spark the boys, go and call on their whole fucking bench. He's not scared to do that. I love that shit. He's effective on it, but in this day's NHL, it's harder than ever to stay in it with the skill and the speed that it is. So I hope he works on that and is able to make an effective mark on his team and stay and play under Lavi. But there you go, an example right there. Lavi's there. If he's not there, I don't know if Rempe gets the shot he got last year.
I agree with that. He just has to hit consistently and not do stupid things like he did to Jake Neighbors last night, where he just runs into. He knew, and we've all been there. You know what I'm talking about. Where you're like, we're in the same site here. Maybe I'll just run into you.
Same lane.
Yeah, same lane. I might not move, although you don't see me. So, like, you got to stay away from that. You can't be a skating 2-minute minor. The guys are all on the bench like, oh, God, now we got to kill a penalty again.
No,
Stay out of the
totally.
box. But if he hits consistently, guys are just going to turn the puck over for him.
Like, did you find that tough, like to play your role and you want to be effective and run around and crash, but it's like, fuck, I know I have a target on my back and I stand out like a sore thumb when I'm running around. I can't take penalties, or, you know, it's just the last thing you can do. You can't be a detriment to your team. Did you find that all the time?
No, because I kissed all the refs' ass. Like, they always give me a warning, and I would know to stay away from a couple things, but no, I really not.
Smart.
Don't trip somebody like a jackass. Don't hook somebody because you didn't take that extra step on the back check. I didn't take, but maybe I'll catch a guy high here and there. But back then, though, like, you can get away with a lot more. So I wasn't really worried about it.
And a lot of guys like juiced up their penalty minutes too. It seems like they were getting 10-minute misconducts all the time.
Well, Brian McGrattan did in the minors. I'll tell you that.
I mean, guys would just get
So
10s,
funny.
get
I love
tossed
him.
out of the game at the end. How about Reaver? You've been hard on him with certain things, including like not fighting Rempe, I believe. I think it was, a clip maybe that I saw. Wouldn't really look at him. But
yeah,
do you feel like
Jack Eye too? There's a couple times where it would have been beneficial to him. I'm just looking at it from like what the Leafs need perspective. I have nothing but respect for Revo. He's one of those guys, Jans, like, he played against us. How are you still in the league? How have you stayed relevant? How have you kept up with that league? Like, absolute hats off to you, man. You're in the league in 2020.
He hits.
Yeah, and he can skate.
Yeah. 2020, and it's impressive, man. And the fact that he's found a way to adapt and stay in that league, and he's fought nothing but heavies, all the big boys. I totally tip my cap to it. But from looking at the Maple Leafs and what they need when they're completely flat and they're losing to the lowly Canadians opening night, everyone wants to get with, Craig Berube here, and he looks off Jack Eye twice. I don't think I'm doing my job unless I say, what was Revo doing there? Like, what a perfect time. You're down 1-0. You're flat. You can't get anything going. You're not scoring. Fucking Jack Eye's out there. Like, Berube's your new coach. You want to set the tone for these new guys on. Like, why wouldn't you go and do that, Revo? That's your job. Like, I'm going to ask that question, and I would expect someone doing my job to ask me that when I was in that boat. And I don't think I'm hard on anyone. I just question why this is happening. Why not do that? Doesn't this make sense? And just shoot the shit and spitball stuff.
Of course, that's what you're supposed to do. And you're right. And it's not like Reaver has, you got Colton Orr and then Godsey and then Bugard and then this, and you're just like, my hands are beat up. No, like, take advantage of that. Aren't you excited? Like, you finally get a good fight. Like, Jack Eye's a defenseman. Take him out of the game too. He's running his mouth. Shit's going down.
And he's like the king of the ring now. Like, I would love to play his role in that league now. Like, all those guys are gone. You could do whatever you wanted, man. You could intimidate. You could call on their bench every single one of them individually and just humiliate them. And if anyone wanted to come out, you could handle everyone in the league, no problem. And I would like to see him take advantage of that. But whatever. I don't know what's going on with him. I just questioned if he hasn't fought all year, and you'd think that with this new deal and Berube, there would be, and I personally think that scraps can spark a team, ignite a team, get the momentum going, change the outcome of a game, and that's a big reason why he's there.
Who's the so you got Jack Eye? You think he's like the number one right now? Tough guy?
The Laurier's up there. There's a couple of them. Revo's that I don't love the belt stuff and the flexing and stuff that Revo does. It's just not my style, but you can tell like he is now very comfortable in like being cocky and having to answer to nobody. But there is a few guys in there like Rempe. Like, for how big he is, it's like he doesn't have a big wingspan or something, or has short arms, because he keeps just eating. Like, you can't eat that many punches, dude. I love the fact you're in there and chucking and trying to throw and get after it, but you're 6 foot what again? Like 7? Like, you should hardly ever get hit. And when he's stringing out to the max, he's still getting clocked a whole bunch of times. So you saw Larocque take him aside and try to help him, but he's up there and willing. I love that, but I'm not sure if he's going to become like, the top heavy or not. There's other guys that are more established so far, I think.
No, who needs to grab him? Like, guys that string you out were the scariest, like the big, tall guys, to even guys like you that are 6'3" or whatever. Like, McGrattan was good at that. Boogeyman was damn good at that. That's why he was this one guy I'm like, because go ahead, string me out. I'll find my rhythm with you. But I felt like Boogie, I'm like, he's going to punch through my soul. And there's nothing I could do about it. And Rempe could be the same guy. He could be the same. He's grabbing him in a different spot. Like, he needs to control the neck and his head. So anyway, I'm glad that we think alike on that.
Yeah, get the shoulder and whatnot. But a guy, Pierre-Luc Letourneau LeBlanc, I think you played with him a fair bit. I fought him one time, and it was like he strung me out so hard and was strong. It was like a fence post was between me and him. I was like, how do I get around this fucking thing like this? He's stringing me out so well, I can't even reach him. And he was strong, and he did that well. There's a bunch of guys. Biz actually did the big string out thing too, but I'd prefer just like standing square and chucking. And I like, most guys are righties, and when everyone's stringing out and holding on and has a good grab, it's just that huge excitement of a fight, and then nothing really fucking comes of it, and you can just feel the disappointment in the crowd and the energy come down. I fucking hated that. So I was like, hey, fuck it. I won't hold on. I'll go my left hand. You go your right. We know no one's holding on to anyone, and we're just going to chuck, and you just feel the fucking building explode. I love that. So everyone thinks I'm a lefty, but I'm right-handed. I just felt like it was better for the fight and for the excitement of having a good fight. The reason you're doing it is to just trade.
Who's how do you look at this whole Marner situation playing out in Toronto? Like, what would you do? Would you give him $12 million? Like, he's going to get somewhere between Nylander and Matthews probably if they keep him, just from a negotiating standpoint. Like, how do you rank the players in terms of most importance there in Toronto?
Yeah, it's so funny because they keep running it back. They have this core four guys that Dubas built, and he built this piece of shit team around them that have no accountability. The problem that I think with this whole group is they hired Babcock because they knew this group needed some accountability, right? Turns out Babcock's just turns into an arrogant asshole and does all this shit that just doesn't fly anymore. They can him. So it was a disaster. They're like, crap, we got to go to a player's coach here. And they go to Keefe, which Keefe's fine and dandy, but the way they played, it was like they ruled the roost. And it was turnover city and low percentage plays and waist high sauce across the rink and cutbacks and fucking. And that's Marner's MO. He would any skilled guy would love to play that way, but it bit him in the ass all the time. It's not conducive to playing in the playoffs, but they can't let these guys go. So it's run it back again, same result. Run it back again, same result. And now I finally think they got the formula right that they were looking for like 8 years ago. And they've got a guy that demands you play a certain way, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's accountability. But he's not Babcock. The guys want to play for him and respect him and everything. And I think you're seeing the success right now. It's a quarter of the way through the season, but I think it's a lot better for these guys. But nothing matters. Nothing matters with the trophies. They could win the division. They could win the President's Trophy. These guys could win, Art Ross or win the Hart or win the Rocket Richard. It doesn't fucking matter in Toronto. Like, they're tired of it. They've seen it and they don't care. They need to win in the playoffs. And just from what I've seen from Mitch, like, his numbers are good in the playoffs, but they're not the meat, and they're not the game-winning goal. They're not the game 7. They're not the, pull yourself. He gets 2 goals when you're down, 3-2 in that tight game, and he just takes over and wins the game. Like, that's what you pay him for. He's never really done that. None of them really have. And that's the only thing that matters in Toronto is can these guys get it done? And the only reason Mitch gets all the heat that he does, he kind of plays a little bit dipsy doodly, which you could pick apart a little bit, but Matthews is locked in long term. You couldn't move Tavares if you wanted to, and Willie's now locked in long term. He's just the odd man out if you're going to make a change, and so many people are tired of running it back. So I think that's why he's the target. But I was pretty sickened with one of his efforts in Game 4 last year. It was terrified hockey. He would not cut to the middle. He wouldn't cut to the net. He was cut back, sitting on the half wall, and backhand sauce, no look. Like, what the fuck? A gamer. What have you watched your whole life? Who wins the Stanley Cup? Have you ever seen guys do that shit and win the Stanley Cup? Never. It's guys going to war, and he hasn't been willing to do it. So that's why I've been hard on him. But I mean, we're talking about an elite hockey player and giving him massive amounts of money. I'm not saying is he a good hockey player or not, because I'll say it online and people are like, he's better than you fucking were. I'm like, is that the conversation, you meathead? We're talking about giving this guy fucking $90 million and being married to him for 8 years, dude. That's a huge commitment.
I know, but
people would disagree with you.
Do you see them? Well, he pays Adam Oates too.
I was going to say, is that an argument with Adam Oates? I'm like, wait a minute.
No, he did but whatever. I like varying opinions. I don't mind people having your opinion, and some people having. Obviously, Adam Oates, he's got the credibility to have whatever opinion he wants. So, how do you think this plays out? Because you keep saying run it back. I feel like they can't let these guys go either. But if he does have a dismal playoff and they do get bounced in the first round and he is taking heat, maybe that's their out to where, hey, we just can't bring him back.
it's just so tough because like you could look at it one way and say, okay, Tavares is coming off the books, and if Marner, we're not tied to Marner and what he's going to make, you're opening up like $3 million to go shopping next off season, and we know that there's a class coming into UFA next year that's fucking high end. But as you can see from the Nashville Predators this year, it's you don't just snap your fingers and go buy a winning team. I mean, look, before there was a salary cap, you look at the Flyers and the Rangers were just throwing ungodly amounts of money at people like Chris Gratton, $10 million for a power forward. You can't buy a winning team. So you let him go. He's going to go somewhere else, probably light it up and fucking win and just totally bite the Leafs in the ass. That's a very big possibility. What do you get in return for him? Like the more he's playing well and the more the team is playing a style that I think there's as good a chance, and chirp the Leafs guy all you want, and they always say this, I get it, but I think there's as good a year this year as any to win. And if they have the team around to do the right things in the playoffs, and Mitch Marner's playing like he is right now, I'm more and more open to the idea of, you can't let him go and re-sign him, and then hope that, the mentality of the team and the identity of the team is more conducive to playoff hockey. Because in the past, it's like you aren't beating anyone with this shit in the playoffs, boys.
Yeah, cap going up. Yeah, you're gonna lose Tavares, and
yeah, he's coming down, so there's still money to be spent in the offseason, even if you're signing him.
Yeah. So you got boys?
Yeah, 2.
So, like, what player currently would you be like, I want my kid to be and play exactly like in the NHL?
Oh, if I could have if Brady Tkachuk was my kid, I would be so fucking proud, man.
Yeah.
Like, here's a guy who doesn't have to play on the edge at all. He could just put up his points and wear the C and fucking collect his money. But he's just got it. He's just got that dog in him. Like, maybe do a fall. They're asking him last night, like, do you have to like sell this guy? He's like, fuck no. I want every guy in my organization to play like Brady. Like, it's better to pull back on the reins a bit than to have to crack the whip. That guy is playing balls out. I would build my franchise around him because he's got the passion, he's got the balls, he's got the drive. It comes from within. You don't have to like hype him up and get him ready and try to, tiptoe around him and nurse him along. And hopefully he likes this and doesn't shut down and go into his shell like a typical kid that age. He's just got balls. He's a man. He wants to win and he knows how to do it and he's willing to do anything. I fucking love that guy.
Great answer. Hey, you know what's going to happen? They're going to lose him. They're going to lose
maybe.
Him. Well, I'm just saying, like, he'll force his way out of there. They find a way. The Tkachuks, they'll find a way to do it. His no moves kicking in this summer. His
brother wasn't scared to take off to where he wanted to go.
He's doing just fine.
They don't start building a winner there. Like, he's not just going to sit back and be frustrated and go crazy every night and lose, man. At some point, if they're not putting the pieces in place to win, he'll get out of there, dude. They'll figure it out,
Yeah, for sure. They're trying with Allmark in there and but yeah, I mean, there's nothing in Ottawa that's keeping him there. If he's got that much of a hunger to win and be a competitor and to hang out in Ottawa for that long, yeah, they better get their ducks in a row because he's not guaranteed to stay there by any stretch.
He's not just going to sit there and lose his whole career.
What about your kid? Who would you not want your kid to play like? Who's so phony?
You can't say Marner.
Bastion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he got fucked up the other night.
I don't know a whole lot about the kid, but I was doing this show where he's going down the wall like this, like completely oblivious to the fact that it's hit hockey. He gets crushed, right? And yeah, it's hurt or he's hurt or whatever. He came back that game. He didn't have a concussion. He scored a goal later, I think. Like, he wasn't hurt. He just wasn't. And so he goes down and then he gets up onto one knee and he's right by the bench. And then he's like, no, he looks up. No, and then he lays back down on his shoulder and then he unclips his helmet and then takes it off and then lays there and waits for the trainer. And I'm like, what the fuck league am I watching right here, dude? Like, I found out after that you're okay, you're fine. You went and played and everything and you rocked the guy. Like, you're fine. You had the audacity to get on your knee and then lay back down and then, oh, that's not comfortable. I'm going to take my helmet off and then lay down here again. Like, my dad would have yanked my ass off the ice in novice if I did that. We all learned it back then. This guy's doing that in the show. So I ripped him and someone must have given him the clip because he like DM'd me and he's like, what the fuck, LOL? And I didn't get it again.
I'm like, who do you not want your kid to play like, Cam?
That's a good question.
Damn. You asked it.
Well, no. Well, I'm asking him.
You don't have anyone in mind?
I don't know. Anybody that's lazy, anybody that's lazy that you have to motivate, I would say. But if they're making a ton of money, then you could be lazy. And
Rosey had the balls
as long as you
to
give me
name
some.
somebody. Cam
Rosey
did.
did.
Shit.
You did have the balls. That's why I asked.
And
I
you knew it right off the
bat,
dude.
Good
Damn.
for you. I should have figured something out.
That sparked. Hey, by all accounts, and every time I rip a guy, they're like, "Oh, he's a good guy." I'm like, "I'm sure he is, and I'm a good guy too. Who gives a fuck? If you do something dumb, I mean, fuck, you might get ripped for it. That was ridiculous, and I'm gonna say it, man. Fuck.
We all got bashed.
Hey, you got to keep saying it. Got to keep saying. That's what the people want, man. So keep doing your thing, dude. Honestly.
Hey, how's your boy Justin Trudeau doing up there?
He's on his last legs, boys. He is on his last legs.
We talk about our presidents down here and stuff, so we always mix in the Canadian. We have a ton of Canadian file. I'm just asking.
I made a mistake yesterday.
I'm just asking.
I just kind of brought him up. I was talking to Kiprios on his show, and Justin Bourne, they do a great job. And I just brought up him being at like Taylor Swift, and like the interview was like, about it. Okay, the interview just kind of came to an end. It was at the end anyway.
But we got our problems too.
Oh God, I'm so used to just freely talking about
Maybe
whatever. I don't know if they allow you to do
your guys' politics down there. It is so fucking amazing and interesting and exciting. And it's just our system's fucking multiple parties and these seats and all this shit. It's kind of complicated. Your guys is too, but it's kind of two parties going head to head. And fuck, there is no lack of drama. And I don't know the way that the society in the West has gone here with, this woke stuff, and people are so fucking tired of it. And they have the vast majority of people don't think that way. It doesn't mean they're not a bad person, but like treat everyone the way you want to be treated with. Be kind to anyone, no matter what they do with their fucking life. It's a free world. Do what you want to do and treat people kindly. Like, how hard is that? That's the answer to all this shit. It's not hire everyone to fucking act like this group of people is the most important people in their, they're 80% of the population. Like, fuck, everyone's tired of that. You're seeing it down there. I don't think it helps a whole lot of people, actually. It just causes more division. And I think this guy's on his way out up here, too. So hopefully more cohesive countries in the future from us, too.
Usually the United States kind of pays a path and kind of people all reciprocate. And they're like, oh, maybe this is what the trend is now. So we'll see what happens. And if Trump fucks up, we're going to fucking chirp him, too. So
totally.
We'll change. So. You're the man, homeboy, just so you know.
All the best, man.
Happy man. And your hair looks damn good. Grow that mug out. You look young. God damn.
Go save some lives.
Okay? Yeah, no shit. Be careful. Actually, be careful with that, dude.
That's right.
See you, homeboy. CJ
Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, boys.
All right. CJ. The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Jay Rosehill.
Man, he's really, really, really cool. Cool cat.
I think he would have strung you out.
Yeah, it would have been tough to fight him, for sure.
Yeah, because he had those long arms. And...
Yeah, everybody had long arms, though.
Well,
but he went toe-to-toe.
I'm trying to break it down.
He went toe-to-toe.
I'm just trying to break it down.
And he threw lefts unlike a McGrattan or whatnot, so I would have been like, whoa, all offense, he would have been tough to fight, but... He's cool, man. Like he's a firefighter.
That's how I'd be, all offense.
Yeah. He's a firefighter up there, like seriously, like doing hockey, and then all of a sudden he's doing
saving cats out of trees.
Well, not even like just like burning, like, or you're in accidents. It's snowing up there, and all of a sudden like two tractor trailers get in an accident. You're the first one on scene.
You have to be the first one on the scene.
You see nasty shit. Now, is he in downtown St. Louis firefighter? Like, no. Like you see death upon death
because firefighters arrive on the scene, not just for fires, Cam.
For everything. They're there all the time for everything, dude. They're in a mix, especially in a little town like that. You said 10,000 people. He's probably a hero up there.
I have a well-known...
He's handsome, too, by the way. He's got fucking badass hair.
I have a well-known steakhouse that's close to my house. And it's not Houston's, but it's well-known.
Steakhouse that he's never eaten steak at?
Been there several times. But there's always an ambulance going into there. Like people choke or
no, it's just probably an old people that probably have
something happens.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence.
They fall or
it's probably just attracts older wealthy people, and
that's exactly the type of place it is.
Yeah, and so like they have problems when you get old. So
are you afraid to get old?
Yeah, a little bit because my body's gonna be beat up, man.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to. I didn't mean it to go there.
No, I just think that if I have to change my ways, I want to be honest with you. I don't want to be alone. I hope and I don't want. I want to live long enough to where Kate's okay.
Dude, she's outliving you, just so you know. She'll live for a long time.
Well, you say that because I thought my fucking dad was gonna outlive my mom.
You did.
Or my mom was gonna outlive my dad.
You did, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Like if honestly, if I would have asked you that 10 years ago, you would be
100%,
unequivocally,
100%.
no question, she will outlive your dad.
I don't want to, like, I don't want to leave her early because of something that could have changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do think about that. We don't have kids, man. So like, I can't leave her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta
Well,
I gotta stick around. But if Kate, I just hope we live long enough in this to where we're okay, and then all of a sudden we both kind of go at the same time.
Okay. I did not mean
what
for
the
this.
fuck you asking?
I did not mean for this to get that emotional.
I think about
because I'm getting you guys a cat for the holidays.
No, you're not. Don't waste your time.
No, I am. And this is another example why you need one. Because the cats will extend your life. Do you know that couples that kiss each other before they leave the house, on average, live longer?
I kiss her, of course.
Every day when you leave the house.
Yep.
There's other things that like you
the doggies.
There's other things you can do too to extend your life.
Yeah, like what? Get an oil change. That's what I want, baby.
An oil change. What does that mean?
You just get your blood fucking infused or whatever. All these rock stars get it. If you got money, you could do a lot of things.
What do you mean, dude?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What happens?
If you got coin, you want to go to Germany to get something done with something. You want this to happen with
like
this.
Austin Matthews.
You want what the fuck? You can get it. You want the smartest doctor in Switzerland to take care of that little thing you got.
Why wouldn't the smartest doctor be in the States? Why wouldn't the best doctors be available in the United States? Why are they in Germany or Switzerland?
A lot of them are, depending on what it is. Depending on everything's different, man. Like, you might have something weird going on with whatever. That guy might be in fucking Austria.
I'm wearing my local legend Christmas sweatshirt.
You know, there's smart doctors everywhere.
Okay, but you're saying go to Switzerland for the.
You might not have to. You might have to go to Washington.
Do you know who the richest man in China is?
Xi Jinping.
His son's over here. Like, he's in Vancouver actually buying Rolls Royces and stuff like that.
There's a lot of rich people in fucking China, dude.
No, he's the richest man in China.
Actually, either you're rich or you're poor.
In China?
Yeah.
There's no middle class?
I wouldn't want to be a part of it. You're middle class.
What do you mean?
I just wouldn't want to be a part of China's middle class.
What happens with that?
Well, I just think that the government's completely different over there in the United States.
So you don't think it's a great quality of life to live in China?
No. Unless you're wealthy.
Can people, are they free to leave China and move out of the country?
That's a good question. I think it's a lot more difficult than you think.
Because there's a couple of neighbors of mine that
maybe
I'm sure it's been generational.
You want me to live in China? I'm like, nah. It's beautiful. There's so much history there, man. There's so many cool things in China.
My neighbor got
not to mention, by the way, you look at China. Mm-hmm. Look at what they're fucking producing. Whoo, doggy. They got fucking rail lines 1,000 feet high. Fucking going through.
Oh yeah. Oh, the technology.
Beautiful. These trains go like 200-300 miles an hour. It's like taking a fucking airplane. So and they get it done in like 11 months. You know, they work their people hard. Not to mention they got a bunch of hardcore kids working too. Like all the stuff you're wearing right now, probably a little fucking 7-year-old making that shit for you.
Okay, you don't have to like try to make me like.
No, but you sometimes you need a wake up call. You know, Andy acts like he's like some philanthropist or whatever. Meanwhile, he's wearing fucking Nike bullshit.
Dude, I'm wearing my shit kickers today. Look at these
he's doing concrete.
Look at these things.
Yeah, some 7-year-old made that. Good for you. You should be proud of that. He was fucking grinding it in some hot box.
Oh my God. Do you wish you had a podcast that would just talk Leafs all the time?
No. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, sure. I like talking about everything.
Yeah. Well, I think they talk about everything too.
No, we do.
Okay.
We talk about everything, okay? We talk about fucking Biden and Trudeau.
My neighbor got 100% on his ACT, by the way.
Yeah, we know that. Andy, what
100%.
else? Do you not have anything? Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and fucking Travis Kelce got their houses straight up fucking robbed. They say it's from that fucking Venezuelan goddamn gang. They were at home.
No.
During a home game.
Yeah.
They're playing at a fucking home game.
But they're not home.
Stop. So you as a criminal, you know exactly what they're doing. They know they're both gone. They're in gated communities. They're gated, and they fucking robbed this shit out of their house. Now, yeah, the FBI's involved and what? Whoa, motherfucker.
They've done this to some NBA players.
Whoa, that's horrific.
They've done this to some NBA players. Now, Mahomes' house has been all over television. It was on Hard Knocks. It was on different things.
They set that up so fucking fast. Yeah, but you don't have like security, like any film of
what's
anything.
They took $20,000 cash from Kelsey's house.
They knew where the cash was.
But dude, you say they're home. I mean, at the same time, when do you know they're not home?
They're playing at home.
Yeah, but That's know risky. They're not home.
Yeah, how do you know there's not a family there? You live in a mansion. There's nobody in the house. How do you know no one's in there? They've been no, because they probably had a drone and they're fucking just watching them.
No,
every
they're at the game.
How do you know there's not security there? How do you know you don't have your grandmother there or this or that? They knew exactly what they were doing.
Time out. How do you know there's not anybody there anytime you burglarize a home?
That's why you don't do it. No, no. That's why you don't burglarize homes where people are there. So they knew that they were gone and everybody was gone. And they had a little bit of a window. Mm-hmm. They're not even out of town.
So what do you make out of this?
I think they're fucking hardcore criminals.
So the Venezuelans are just hardcore like that, huh?
Well, you have organized gangs, man.
Well, they got to be pretty organized to accomplish this.
That's exactly what I'm.
And they know.
Keep up.
And they know it's going to get create headline. They want the attention. They're following.
No, they don't. They want to get in and out.
Well, they're doing massive celebrities though.
Because they know there's money there. They just know whether you do it to them or you do it to another house. Like the cops are gonna be on you. They're just getting in and out. They study that house and they study their movement, and that's scary.
But don't you think that the investigators are going to pay? I mean, I'm not saying they should, but probably closer attention to getting to the bottom of this because they're doing Kelsey and Mahomes, the Kansas City Police, the FBI, and they're
these guys are all illegal fucking immigrants coming over, man. No one's
documented. You think it's the same people that are physically
in Aurora, California, or
burglarizing Kelsey and Mahomes as the people who are doing the NBA players in other states and different regions of the country?
No, it could be a bunch of different criminals everywhere. But I thought this connection to the Aurora apartments that they took over, and then these guys they sprinkled out, and they have money, and they probably had drones or whatever, and they just knew their movement the whole time. Like, now get in, get out. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's the password for. You have $25,000, like what, sitting right there? No, you don't. You got to fucking know the password. Like, that's scary.
No, okay. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. That is not scary. What's scary is if you're not taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
Show your left shoulder to the camera, please.
Yoink, 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 yoink.
That's the quarter zip. And guess what? There's probably a special with that right now.
I'm wearing this on the plane.
They got the Cyber Monday stuff, the Black Friday specials too. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link. And then you'll save the money, right? More money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But you have to use our link, man. Illinois Recovery Center. Cam went out there last week. Appreciate you doing that, saying hello to all the people.
Oh, I appreciate
Derek
you.
And everybody.
Me.
Yeah, I sent Cam out there.
Jacob,
sorry. Big shout out to Jacob.
You, tell your mama I said
he's doing God's work, dude.
Dude, they just I talked to all those guys and they're like, this is my 4th time in rehab, and this is the best place I've ever been.
They all say that.
They go, this is the best place I've ever been. They actually care about me. I went to high school with a guy that works there too.
Really?
We partied together back in the day. He's like, I got jammed up. I'm like, yep.
Cam, you buried the lead.
What?
That should have been what you said before.
No, he was working there. He's working.
No, but you should have said that these people are saying it's the best place.
It's the best. I said that before. They all say it.
They've told us that when I went out there.
They're comfortable. They actually, some other places, there's like, there you go. Get out. I'm just making money. These guys are like really, really trying to help you. It's unbelievable.
Illinois Recovery Center, man. This is the time for sure to get your life back on track.
Chrissy, Jacob, Eric, love all you guys.
Happy holidays to all y'all. Bolt Sports, man. Get out there and get out there now. Bolt Sports, take your son or daughter's skill level to the next level. And I'll tell you this, man, this is fun. See, because kids want to be, what's the word when they see things it lights up and stimulated, right? Stimulated. It's fun. It's like a game.
It's like going to
it's like they're playing on their iPad or playing video games, but they're not. But they're actually working on things. They've got the snipes, which obviously are great because it keeps track of your score, and you want to make sure you're hitting your target when you shoot anyway. You got to hit the net. And you don't hit the net, you don't score. The e-cones are great not just for hockey players too.
Football, whatever.
Great training tool for football and soccer, for conditioning and all that. They light up. I mean, it's cool as shit. And again, you touch it, it keeps track of your score, so you know how often you're hitting the cone and going back and forth, no matter how far you separate the cones from one another. There's different things you can do. It comes with different training practices that you could do that you can, kind of create. So it's cool, man. The dangler is amazing.
Dangler.
And the players can compete against one another with their stick handling skills. Yeah. So check that out, man. Bolt Sports. Great to have them along, man. And on the team with the Cam and Strick podcast for Shizzy. All right, Sparks Hockey. SparksHockey.com, Cam. Cam knows firsthand now what it's like to have your skates sharpened, and it saved the day. And why do you think all these places have Sparks?
Well, it's just so easy. Like, it's just, you might as well. And there's different variations. I was talking to the guy, like, there's bigger ones and this and blah, blah, blah. So whether you own a hockey shop or you're just a dad or a mom that just wants to be organized with your kids so they don't toe pick and hurt themselves and get demoted to AA instead of AAA because they can't skate because their skates are fucked up, which happens every goddamn time. So just get one of those.
Or if you just want to go out there and play house hockey and you need to get your skate sharpened no matter what level you play.
My skates were sharp and they felt damn good.
I heard you try a little too hard out there.
No, Andy, don't worry about it.
I heard you're trying too hard. I
heard
you're the only one trying.
Trying? I can't even breathe. Get out of here, Andy. Just worry about you getting invited again.
I hear you're trying too hard, and I hear you were sweating profusely.
I'm the GM.
Sweating profusely during the game the other night.
Well, you do sweat. Oh, on a Jumbotron?
Yes.
Oh, God. So you mixed two different things together. I had to do a Jumbotron. I'm sweating my ass off in that room. And everybody's like
so his hands were sweating.
People are like texting me like, Jesus, you okay? Got Jason Isringhausen, fucking pitcher for the Cardinals. I haven't talked to him in a year. Fucking text me. He's like, you okay, boy?
It didn't look like it. It didn't
cool.
look like it.
I'll give you a little shout out, Jason, baby.
What up, Jason?
Those are my boys right there. Shit.
Yeah, Izzy,
baby.
Blue Note Roofing, man. 314-920-5713. Call David Novak today and let him take great care of you because you know he will, Cam.
Oh, God.
This guy will get on the roof himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a roofer.
Hardcore roofs. That's so scary.
And gutters.
Fascia.
Soffit and fascia.
Yep, all that stuff.
Winders.
God, it's cold. It gets cold.
The bus driver I had when I was a kid would call put your windows up.
Put your windows up, God dang it. It's cold in here. Like, okay. God,
always look for that block home, guys. When you see that little sign in the window,
they'll take care of you.
They will bring you into your house.
Go to Andy's house. If a bunch of Venezuelan gangs are following you, go to Andy's house. He's going to take care of you.
God. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't you come to my house?
What are you going to do?
Close the door and lock it.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like, nothing.
Probably,
that's it.
Probably grab my...
We went in Patrick Mahomes' house and stole $25,000.
Probably grab a hockey stick.
God, you'll get them. You'll get them.
Or my box cutter.
Don't even... it's all good.
No, I sleep with one. Dude, I sleep with one next to mine.
No, you'll be fine. 3 kids. You'll be fine. You better get some.
Probably call Praveen.
You better... Oh, he'll help you.
He will.
Oh, yeah.
Praveen.
Get out of here.
The kids went sledding over the weekend.
Figure that out, though. You protect yourself.
My wife thinks if it snows like a half inch, like we just got like 6 inches, you know?
Yeah, well, no, it's
like
3 inches.
Like, you know, the hot chocolate Instagrams are coming. The sledding Instagrams are coming.
I like seeing that. Okay, and put the smile on my... I like that stuff. Okay. When I go through Facebook and I see other families that I know, including yours, I put a smile on my face.
Did you like our...
swear to God.
The kids' Thanksgiving picture under the Morning Glory maple? I
saw it all. Yeah, I liked everything. That makes me happy.
You gave a smiley face.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I gave a little
You know what else will make you happy besides Blue Note Roofing? 314-920-5713. Hat launch, baby.
Right here. You want some of these bad boys? Yeah. You got a bowling team. You got a fucking, a football.
Tell them, Cam.
Listen, hockey team, dance team, whatever. You want to represent. Ty's going to Toronto for a tournament. Get some hats. We got a bunch of coaches and stuff like that coach teams in St. Louis, and they're just buying hats.
What do you think of all the football teams fighting at midfield?
Were they fighting, really? They're taking things down and putting it in the fucking thing, whatever. They're spraying each other with
my
mace.
God, they're macing. They're macing these poor football players.
It's all good.
Fighting.
They're fighting. It's all good. I like some of those games.
Hell yeah. Bench clearers, baby. You want to get the right things for Christmas, man. Why not get one of these tanks, man? They're so nice.
Cool. Right here. Damn cool.
They are so nice.
Damn cool.
Plus, they have the hoodies and they've got the windbreakers and all that other stuff. The blankets are so comfortable. The blankets are so comfortable.
I want one.
I'll give you the one that I've been using the last couple of nights.
Is that the dog pissed on? Lord, second-class citizen.
Do you mind if
I'm a second-class citizen?
Give you the one that I'll give you the one that I've been sleeping with.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
You and Lori?
Bench clears, baby. Use the promo code Cam and Strick. It'll save you money. Also on Bolt Sports, by the way, BOLT Sports. If you go to their Instagram account, you get more information. But when you use our promo code Cam and Strick, the more products you buy, you bundle them together, the greater the discount.
That is, baby.
So I'm just I want to make that clear. Cam, at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks, none of that bullshit. And if you had one of them shit-kicking trucks that Bellman sells up in Ontario right now, you're helping people. You're plowing snow, and you can make a lot of money doing that.
It's kind of like having a swimming pool where you're like, everyone wants to come hang out.
White gold.
They know you have the shit-kicking truck.
Yeah, they're like, no, you're white gold, baby. You're doing parking lots, you're doing school parking lots, you're doing businesses where you're making a ton of money. All my buddies out yonder that have these shit kickers, they have this fucking grate in the front, and they cost a lot of money, but it's white gold. Bring it down. They're gonna plow everything for you, for Lori, for everybody. Those are the shit kickers, and you get a badass truck at Bellman.
Say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up? Kenny, what's up? Dial, what the fuck?
Where are they located?
Go. Troy, Missouri.
Where?
Troy, Missouri. Badass. They got all kinds of stuff. Check out them Buicks too.
GMC, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, all in Troy, Missouri. I'm looking at that GMC Denali with like the lights on the top of the.
Yeah.
You know what the lights on? What are those for?
When you're working.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You're working. That's what you put on when you're.
Yeah. Thanks, Cam.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna leave you with this. A great business idea that I have. I was reading about this thread, and I know we know somebody that's in this business, but people who the vending machine business is like pure gold.
Jeez, who gives a fuck?
Like if you have a vending machine.
Are we Daddy Padre?
No.
Is this what we're going at? Are you jealous of him?
No.
His dad.
I was trying to break down how much money they're bringing in every month, but based on what you can.
Then get in the vending machines. Why are you wasting my time?
I may have to.
Why are you wasting my time?
There's different things.
Why are you wasting everybody's time?
No upkeep.
Hey, I'll be up in Canada.
No employees.
I'll be up in Canada. You guys want to reach out to me?
Yeah.
I love all y'all. I'll be in Edmonton. Look at the Blues schedule, man. I'll be there. You guys want to reach out?
I may have a special co-host.
Bring me. Hey, by the way, I'm in Edmonton for fucking 3 days. Pick my ass up and let's go get our minds right. Let me know. God damn.
Pick him up.
Pick me the fuck up from the hotel. I'll tell you exactly where I'm at. Message me.
Take him somewhere.
Take me somewhere.
So
Let's
he
go.
Can get his mind right.
Let's go. Baby.
I may have a special co-host with me in studio next week. You never know.
No, you're not.
Well.
Andy's trying to get rid of me.
I would never.
He thinks I'm like working in an insurance company in Scottsdale. I'm working for the Blues.
Trip, but hurry the hell back.
I know. It's 10-day.
Don't make a habit out of this.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Love you guys.